You have no reason to believe me. But I also have no reason to protect anyone anymore. I promise you, what I am telling you is the truth. I have no reason to care about Joe or care about Zach. I have no reason to protect anyone. I just want to do what's best for me. So what I have told you is the truth.
On April 19th, 2023, at approximately 10:45 p.m., 20-year-old Alexa Bartell was driving northbound on Indiana Street in Jefferson County, Colorado. She was on a phone call with a friend when the line abruptly went silent. After being unable to reach her, the friend used a location tracking app to find Alexa's last known position and located her vehicle off the road in a field. A large landscaping rock had been thrown through the windshield, fatally striking Alexa inside the vehicle. She was pronounced deceased at the scene. Around the same time, deputies were receiving reports from other motorists whose vehicles had been struck by large rocks while driving in Jefferson and Boulder Counties between approximately 10 p.m. and 11 p.m. that night. Detectives compared these incidents and identified a pattern involving large, round landscaping rocks thrown from a moving vehicle. Investigators collected rock evidence from each scene and obtained surveillance footage from nearby residences and businesses. Several cameras captured a black Chevy Silverado traveling through multiple incident locations during the relevant time frames. Detectives then obtained geofence warrants to collect anonymized cell phone data from the affected areas. A small number of devices appeared at multiple scenes, including one associated with the household of 18-year-old Joseph Edwin Koning. A tip from an acquaintance led investigators to 2 additional individuals who were reportedly with Koning that night and who had been seen gathering landscaping rocks earlier in the evening. Based on cell phone data, surveillance footage, witness interviews, and the timeline of events, detectives identified 3 suspects: Joseph Edwin Koning, Nicholas Mitch Karol-Chik, and Zachary Kwok. Less than a week after Alexa's death, the 3 teens were arrested overnight between April 25th and April 26, 2023. We begin with the interrogation of Joseph Edwin Koning, one of the occupants of the Silverado on the night Alexa Bartell was killed.
Joseph?
What's going on?
Is it okay if I call you Joe, or what do you prefer?
Joe's cool.
Joe's cool? All
Yeah.
right. I'm Investigator Houskin.
I'm Investigator Eric Waller.
How's it going?
It's going. How are you doing?
Oh, tired.
I'm sure. You're just exhausted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want some water?
No, I'm alright. I'm good.
Okay. I don't know anything about you, so I'd like to know a little bit about you. How old are you?
I'm 18.
18?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Where'd you go to school?
It's good. I like it.
Yeah.
Except, it's school. So, I don't really like school too much.
Hey, but you made it through, though.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
you made it through. Good for you. So 14 days. Cool. Have a lot of friends there?
I usually kind of stick to myself. I mean, I know people there, but I like to just go in, do my thing, go out.
Okay. Yeah.
Go to work.
All right. And what do you want to do after school? So you're a car buff.
I am, yes.
Okay. Good for you. Who lives at your house?
My mom and my dad and me, and our 3 dogs and a cat.
3 dogs and a cat.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's a little menagerie of animals.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Are they all yours, or like is there somebody else in the family just loves all?
We all have them, but it's not. We don't really like share the animals. We've all just we've had Tony. Tony's the little one. We've had him since I was 5 years old. He's still kicking.
Okay.
And then we just recently got 2 other ones. And then the cat we just recently got as well.
Now, would you prefer cats or dogs?
It depends.
Okay, fair. They all have different personalities. I totally get that. Cool. All right. Well, thanks for sharing a little bit about you.
Mm-hmm.
Helps me out. Do you know why we're here? Can you guess why we're here?
I could guess.
Okay. Well, before we go into those questions, okay, I just want to make sure that you know what your rights are.
Okay.
Okay? And you've seen it before. Like on TV, it sounds just like that, okay? So I'm going to read them to you. And then we'll just make sure that you understand them, okay?
All right.
So you have the right to remain silent. Well, actually, first, let me say this. So the reason why I want to talk to you is I want to talk to you about throwing rocks at cars.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Which is probably what you guessed. So you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say, you can't use it for law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer, having a present, question. You can afford to hire a lawyer, question, if you wish. And then you decide any questions, okay? If you understand those, if you can initial just next to those.
This is just that I understand them?
Yeah, just that you understand them. So make sure we understand them first, and then I'll read you a couple more things. Awesome. Thanks, Joe. Okay. Now, do you understand each of these rights? I explained them to you, right? And having these rights in mind, do you wish to talk to me now about the throwing rocks at the cars?
I'd prefer to have a lawyer with me.
Okay.
I don't like talking to law enforcement because I don't really know what I'm talking about, but...
Okay. No, I mean, that's absolutely your right.
After only a brief series of questions, Joseph Koning invoked his right to an attorney, bringing his interview to an immediate end. With no further statements coming from Koning, detectives shifted their focus to the next identified occupant of the Silverado that night, Zachary Kwok.
Like I mentioned earlier, my name's Dan. I'm an investigator here. This is my partner, Shauna. We've gotten to the point of the night where I know bits and pieces about this and about that and about the other thing, and I know you've got a focal point to all this, but I don't know what it is. Right. So my goal here is for us both to get a better understanding of what's going on and where to go from here. Fair? So first of all, real quick, because I've never met you, can I get you to spell your first name for me?
Zachary, Z-A-C-H-A-R-Y.
Do you have a middle name?
Yeah, H-I-E-S-T-A-N-D.
And spell your last name, please.
K-W-A-K.
And what's your birth date?
03/18, 2005.
So you just turned 18, right?
Yes. Do they always have investigators, or what's your title?
Yes.
Your title's investigator?
It is.
Are you guys always working at 2:36 in the morning?
Only when we have to. I know we picked you up at a house. Is where we found you, where the...
I live.
Is that where they live? You live up there?
Yeah, I live right there.
Up there. And what was that address again? Just because I don't have it, I don't want to trust somebody else because it is 2:37 in the morning. And that's still an Arvada address, is that right?
Sure.
What's your zip?
Sorry?
The zip code? Okay, I wasn't sure about that.
You're telling me.
I can never keep track of where the lines are. I'd imagine you got your own cell phone? See some of those numbers pop in here and there. Where you work at?
I don't have a job right now.
Okay. It's all right. Like every job, there's paperwork, there's rules, right? Since you were brought down here by the officers, I got to go over your Miranda waiver with you, and that's going to go ahead and transition us to next set of questions and answers, go in both directions, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read through this for you. Once I get to each one of these bullet points, if you have any questions at any point, stop me. If I start slurring, if I'm talking too fast, let me know, and we'll explain it out, right? At which point I'll go ahead and hand this back to you, and then we can go from there, right? So understand that I am a law enforcement officer. I'm in plain clothes, but I am a law enforcement officer as well as my partner here. We are interviewing concerning a homicide. You have any questions about those, and do you understand them? Okay. So if you could just for me, reread those, make sure I read them right to you, and throw your initials next to each one of those.
The date.
It is April, or is it still in April? 26th? And it's 2:40 a.m. So I do notice you signed there at the bottom. So I just want to know with what you did sign there is that you understand each of those rights and you agree to talk to me now and have some questions?
Sure.
Okay.
Homicide?
Mm-hmm.
You think I killed somebody?
I don't know. I don't have the answers yet. I've been piecing this together for a very long time now, and I know you're involved. To what degree you're involved, I don't know. And that's why I'm
Involved in what?
Okay. So let's start there. Like, you get woken up at 2 o'clock in the morning. What do you think this is about?
I have no idea, dude.
No idea. Okay.
All I know is there's a bunch of you guys outside my door waking up my dog. Do you have a rebuttal? Or something? Do you have a reason why?
Well, I just want to know, like, because I like to throw it out to you first, say, hey, do you have an idea why we're here?
I honestly thought it was probably because of something I did stupid on a motorcycle.
Okay. I can tell you right now it's not stupid on a motorcycle. Right.
Okay.
All right. Last Wednesday, you were in a pickup truck with two of your friends.
I might have been. I don't really know, dude.
Okay. That's what I want to talk to you about.
Okay. I don't know what I was doing. When was it? Last Wednesday? I don't...
You can imagine we didn't just randomly pick you out of the air, obviously.
Yeah, I mean...
Right. So there's clearly something that's tying to you to what we're talking about, and I think you know it. And I'll be honest with you, it's 2:30 in the morning, right? You know, I don't want to bullshit you, and because I don't want you to bullshit me, I just want to be open and, like, just throw it out there and tell me what happened, because I need your side of the story. That's simple. So last Wednesday, you met up with some buddies, and you were within a truck. Tell me what happened. I know you're weighing on how much to say, and it's easier to just let it out, and we'll sort through it all.
Well, I couldn't tell you what I was doing last Wednesday, so...
So while you were sick, what'd you do?
Finished Rick and Morty.
I never made it past the second season, but all right.
Tell me the name of a character. Like one of them. The little guy who looks like a breadstick.
I have no idea. It's the pickled Rick that I always thought was amusing. But
I was trying to bullshit you.
I know.
I was trying to, like, see if you're lying to me or not.
I told you at the beginning, I don't want to lie to you. I'm not here to lie to you.
My dad
And I know you're not here to lie to me too, right? And I just want to understand what happened. And I know you were there, and I know you can tell me you're there, and I know you weren't sick.
You know I wasn't sick? How do you know that?
I'm not going to answer your questions unless you answer mine. That's all.
I'm trying to help you out here, man.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
I really am. It's like, you're going to have to give me a little bit more, man. Sorry, I'm super tired.
Last Wednesday, you got picked up by two of your friends. Let's start there. Who were you with? You tell me who you're with, and I'll give you more.
Like in Wednesday. I don't know, man. I'm drawing a blank.
I don't believe you. I think you know damn well what I'm talking about. And I was really hoping we weren't going to start this conversation off this way, that we'd at least be able to start with a little bit of open and honesty, right? And obviously that's not the case. So where do we go from here?
You tell me.
I did. You told me where you were at last Wednesday.
Dude, I don't know. I'm sure it was a lot of places last Wednesday, like school and whatnot.
Where'd you go to school? What were your classes like on Wednesday? Like, what's your schedule like?
The thing that I'm least likely to know is my own schedule.
And how do you know where you're supposed to be?
I've got a phone for that.
Yeah. You don't go anywhere without your phone, right?
I mean, not really, no.
Okay. Does anybody else use your phone? So nobody's going to be jacking with your schedule or anything?
I mean, I'm sure people go on my phone, but that's only the people who know my password, right?
Yeah. And how many people would that be?
Well, I have no idea. I feel like I go home a lot because my stomach never feels good.
Okay. Did that happen last week?
It happens every week. You're gonna have to help me out a little bit, man.
What time did Mitch pick you up?
Mitch, K.
I'm helping you out. You help me out. We're not going to play this game all night. We're not. Either you start answering questions or you can make that look on your face and we just move on.
I don't know.
You actually have an opportunity here that is beyond what you can really comprehend at the moment. And it all depends on your level of honesty.
Yeah.
Okay.
I met Mitch like a month ago.
Okay.
I've hung out with him 3 times since then, 4 times maybe.
Okay.
Maybe twice at the Grizzly Rose plus that.
Okay.
Every time he picks me up, it's different, but I don't know. A little bit after dinner.
Did he pick you up on Wednesday?
Like I said, dude, I don't know.
Did he pick you up last week at all?
Yeah, I think we hung out. We did something with like a group, I think, on Monday.
Cool. Tell me about the group.
I don't know. I could even tell you what we were doing, so.
We got a little bit more, so we made a little step here, right? So we're hanging out with Mitch. There's a group. I already know who was in the group at the time, just so you're aware. I just need you to tell me what was going on with that group.
Mitch's truck is faster than my truck.
Cool. What's the truck like?
His?
Yeah, tell me about his truck.
4.2 liter. Whatever Chevy's form of EcoBoost is.
Okay.
I think it's a 4.2. I don't think it's a 3.8.
Chevy, though?
Oh, yeah.
What year? Yeah? Roundabout. Sound like you're probably...
I probably don't even know the color of the thing.
Okay. So Mitch has got a faster truck than yours.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Were you guys racing?
No, I wasn't driving.
I'm sorry?
I wasn't driving because I wasn't feeling well.
Okay. Who was driving?
I mean, you're the one who said it. Mitch came pick me up.
Mm-hmm. Was Mitch driving?
Probably.
Why do you say probably? Who else would have been driving?
No, not me. Shit.
So where were you in the car?
Oh, I was...
So behind the passenger?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what you're doing with them.
Because sorry.
Yeah.
For you.
Okay, so you're behind the passenger.
Yeah, because he keeps all his shit right behind the driver's seat, like his work tools and stuff.
Okay.
And in the middle. Like, there's always like a case of Topo Chico or some bullshit there. So it's like, get right here.
Okay. Who was up front?
Joe.
Okay. Joe who?
I actually don't know his last name.
Cool.
I think it also starts with a K.
Do you know him at all?
Same for Mitch. They're best friends.
So you met him through
I just knew them from each other.
Okay, gotcha. Do you remember where you met him? You said about a month ago.
Probably the Grizzly Rose.
Okay. So they pick you up, fast truck. What do you guys do? Where do you go?
I don't know. I don't know. My head was down a lot. I wasn't feeling good.
Okay. Were you drinking, drugs, anything like that?
I don't anymore.
Okay. When was the last time you did?
Freshman year.
It's been a while. How about the other two?
I don't know. I don't think Joe drinks.
Okay. Any idea about Mitch?
Like I said, I only hung out with him like twice, 3, maybe.
How do they know to come pick you up?
You can talk to him.
You talk to him?
Yeah.
On cell phone, Snapchat?
Something, whatever.
Okay. Did you call them or did they call you?
It's always different.
Okay. How about this time?
I don't know, man.
Did you guys talk about, what did you talk about? I mean, y'all going anywhere, doing anything, just chilling? Or?
Cars and sex, typical teenage boy stuff, right?
Yeah. So we got you in the back seat, Mitch's truck, fast truck.
I never said it was fast.
Faster than yours. Did you guys go anywhere?
Probably a lot of places. Whenever I hang out with them, we end up driving like everywhere.
Okay. Is it just destination or just random or?
They just like to bump music by some stupid rap artist who tells stories instead of sings.
Who picks that?
Oh, I don't know. I think it's both of them.
I would ask you who it was, but I wouldn't have any idea. All right. So you
They're
guys
like
are.
this. Those two are like this.
Okay. How often do you hang out with them, or do you just visit either one of them?
I'm sorry?
How often do you hang out with either one of them?
With just one of them?
Mm-hmm.
Like, by...
Yeah, just by themselves.
Fucking, I don't know.
Is it?
Never.
Never?
I think I've seen Joe by himself once. Maybe Mitch fucking without Joe once.
Okay. What do you know about Joe? You said his last name started with a...
Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Koenig, maybe.
Okay. What else you know about him? I mean, anything would be helpful.
You don't already have him?
I don't have any answers.
No? You didn't get anything from Dumb and Dumber?
What do you call that?
Have you met the two?
No. I told you, I'm a behind-the-scenes guy, right? It's 2 o'clock in the morning, that's why I'm talking to you. I know I haven't gone out, I haven't talked to any of these people yet. So you call them Dumb and Dumber? Are they just, like, not smart, or they make bad decisions, or?
I mean, probably both, but I think Joe's actually a little slow.
All right. Does he go to school still?
I don't know. I really don't know much about either of them.
That's fair. I mean, is there anything you can tell me about where they live, who they hang out with, phone numbers, how you talk to them? Any of that stuff would be helpful.
Where they live. Mr. Joe lives somewhere in Candelas.
Okay.
And Mitch, you probably already know where he lives, right?
Mitch?
Yeah?
No.
No? Not at all?
I haven't found... here's the deal. I haven't found anybody connected to this group named Mitch. I know there's a Mitch. I know there's a Mitch involved.
Then how did you find me?
We'll get to that.
What did I do to warrant this?
What do you think you did? You obviously know this conversation's going somewhere, and obviously those two are involved,
Well, yeah.
right? And every time we start getting to this uncomfortable spot, you reach down to pick up that glass, right?
Yeah.
So I need you to help yourself, help me understand what happened that night. And I know you know. And I know you have more than you're telling me.
Help me out.
I am. I've been trying to help you.
I know
And I
you got
need
some
you to
more
help
in
me.
there.
Hmm?
I know you got some more in there.
So we talked about Joe. Let's talk about Mitch. What can you tell me about Mitch?
Marine.
Current?
No. Enlisted.
Okay. Is he active duty now?
No, he's just I think he's just in the ROTC program.
ROTC? Is that through?
But he's shipping off soon. I don't know. I don't know where he does it from. Like I said, I barely know either of these kids.
Okay.
For whatever reason, they liked me and they wanted to hang out with me, and I was like,
I mean, it sounds like you're not too interested in them. Why do you hang out with them?
something to do.
Okay.
I'd rather not have a sausage party, and I'd just rather hang out with, girls.
Fair. But you're still hanging out with the two of them, so there's got to be something there. At least some sort of interest, or I don't know. You guys like doing something. Do you guys play video games, or?
I don't play video games.
But you're interested in cars, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I guess that would be a common ground.
Yeah. I mean, it's got to be something. I mean, so you talked about Mitch's truck. What kind of truck you got?
Chevy Colorado.
What color?
Red.
Cool. Do any modifications to it?
No.
And you could throw anything out there. You could tell me you have a 3-spin something or other. I have no idea because I don't know cars.
How about a really handsome driver? Does that count?
Yeah.
You know that one?
All right. I'll give you that. So Mitch's got a faster truck than you.
Yeah. What's that on your arm say?
Which part? That?
Other side.
That one? Courage. Old tattoo for the military.
How long were you in for?
10 years.
10 years?
Right out of high school.
What'd you do?
Air Force.
Nice.
Security. Nothing fun.
Thought about joining the Navy.
Yeah. Why didn't you?
I barely missed the program I wanted, so.
What were you looking for?
The nuke program.
Subs or surface?
Surface. That's the ideal, is I don't want to be trapped in a sub, but I didn't get far enough into it for them to tell me what I was doing.
Gotcha. Did you actually make it down to basic, or actually, you know what, it would be up to basic, probably up there at,
I just turned
North.
18.
yeah,
I haven't
that's
had much
where
time
it's
to do that. You said April 26th?
Yeah, a month. Yeah, I guess I missed that. I guess you present older than you are, right? Take it as a compliment, take it whatever.
Yeah.
It's legit. You still interested in the Navy?
Yeah. Gotta have something to make you a man, right?
Sure.
Yeah, you gotta help people.
I think it's honorable. You know, I think it helped me out a lot at that age. Let's talk about Mitch's truck.
What about it?
Does it have any features on the outside? Lights, stickers, lifts, kits, anything like that?
I don't know.
Do you remember what color it is?
Oh, I know the interior is black.
Light, dark? I'm sorry, outside. Light color, dark color?
It's darker.
Darker. Yeah. Does he talk about it being his or his folks or?
I don't know.
And,
I mean, every teenager says that his, so I'm going to assume he says his.
Okay. So tell me about where you guys were driving last week. Because you haven't gone somewhere.
We went to Cracker Barrel one night. Which one? I have no idea. I didn't even know there were Cracker Barrels in Colorado.
I thought they all went out of business, to be honest with you.
What'd you say?
I thought they went out of business.
Yeah, because their food's shit.
You're hanging out with Zach and Mitch. What do you do? Where do you go? And you know what I'm talking about last week. So don't jump back into last time or when you hung out a month ago. Last week, you guys are hanging out. You're together. You already told me Mitch picked you up in his truck. You weren't feeling good, so you were in the back seat. Tons of crap behind the passenger, behind the driver's seat.
Right.
What'd you do? Where'd you go?
He just took my chapstick.
Sorry about that.
Walmart.
Okay. Did you need something, or are you just chilling?
I just went there to screw around, honestly.
Do you remember which one?
Oh, this one's not close. It's not the one off 120th. Or the one off 64th. I don't know which one it was.
Have you ever been there before?
I've not, no.
So you're screwing around at Walmart. Was this right after school?
No. Like I said, they normally just hang out after dinner.
Okay, so it's after dinner. So you're screwing around at Walmart. Did you buy anything? Did you steal anything? I'm not going to actually charge anybody with stealing shit.
May or may not have taken some, like, a single Starburst.
So Starburst container?
Tank.
Okay. Did you guys all go in together?
Yeah, I don't see why I wouldn't have.
I don't know. Did somebody hang back by the car or anything?
I don't see why I wouldn't have. Yeah, I think we did. Okay. It was in Denver, though, I think, the Walmart. That job would be horrible.
That job? That job is horrible because you're not. When I eventually have to type this report, I got to rely on her notes for it. So.
Sounds rough.
I guess we all got to do what we got to do to make some money, right? So you guys are screwing around at Walmart. You may have not stolen some Starburst.
And then what?
Yeah, and then what?
Dude, I don't know.
You do. Yeah, you do. That's fine. If you need a minute to piece it together and process it, that's fine. But I think you do know. I know you know. Where'd you go after Walmart?
A lot of places I've never seen.
Okay, describe them. Just pick one. Just picture in your mind and tell me what you see.
Road, underpass, gas station, road work.
Okay. Do you think Mitch knew where you were at? Like, was he behaving like he knew where he was at?
Those kids seem to know all around Colorado.
Okay.
It's kind of ridiculous.
So roads, constructions, underpass, what else?
I don't know.
Was Mitch driving the whole night?
I also don't know. Him and Joe share insurance though, so they used to switch off driving all the time.
Okay. Fair enough. Whose insurance are they on? His or her? His or hers? The hell's wrong with that?
I have no idea.
O'clock in the morning. So they're on insurance, they switch back and forth. Is it something they talk about or they just do it? I just don't know if that discussion. I mean, you're in the back seat. I don't know if they're like, hey, pull over, it's my turn to drive.
No,
Hey, you did that, I did this, watch this.
It's nothing like that.
Okay.
I think it's just when Mitch is too lazy to drive.
When Mitch is too lazy to drive, is that what you said?
Probably.
Okay.
That's what I'd do. Cold outside. I'm still cold.
Yeah. So after leaving Walmart, do they switch off drivers?
I couldn't tell you, dude.
So where do you go? What do you see? What do you do?
I got nothing for you, man.
Why not?
Hit a roadblock, yeah. Ever heard a writer's block? I got nothing.
All right. Tell me about the rocks.
What rocks?
Don't play the game. You know what I'm talking about.
I'm not sure I do, sir. Want to help me out?
I just did.
It seems like you know more about it than I do.
And this is your opportunity to put your story and your narrative on what I know.
Sorry?
This is your opportunity to put your story and your narrative on what I know.
I'm not sure what it means on what you know. That
You're smart. You know what. I'm not going to keep playing these games, guy. Come on.
you confused me, man.
No, I didn't. I know I didn't.
On what you know.
Yep.
That
You
is-
clearly know that I have an idea of what happened. And at this point in the conversation, I know that you have a story that fits the facts that I have. And
does that tell you that I'm not lying to you, or?
you haven't given me anything yet. You're not being honest. Just stop. You're not being honest, right? And just, we don't need to keep playing that game, right?
So enlighten me. What is on what I know mean? You seem to think that this saying is favorable for me, right?
I don't know because I don't know your story. So I don't know what's favorable for or against you.
What do you need from me?
Tell me what happened. Tell me your side of the story.
From what, dude?
You're in the truck with Mitch and Joe screwing around at Walmart.
Yeah.
Tell me your
And
side
some
of the
other
story.
dickhead.
Okay? Who is that other person?
I don't know. Actually, I know the kid's name, but we got him from his house.
Okay?
And then we dropped him off.
Okay? What do you know about him?
Nothing.
Is he a friend of one of the other two? Were they acting like they were friends?
Yeah.
Have you ever met him before?
Not once. He said he'd met me at the Grizzly Rose or something, but I couldn't recall.
Okay? A little more information. We're getting there half a step at a time.
No, I'm trying, dude. I know, I really understand. Like, I can understand that, you know, I'm being investigated for homicide. That you have no reason to believe it. I'm trying to help you out here.
The thing is, I don't think you are. I think you're playing games with me.
I don't have any
Honestly,
reason to fight with you.
honestly, at this point, we walked in here, and I think you think you're the smartest person in the room, right? So, I'll give you that. You're smart, right? You got a grasp on things. I think you know. I think you understand. I think playing like you don't and playing dumb has served you in the past, and you're hoping it's going to serve you today. And I know you're smarter than that. Just by how you're interacting with me.
I just need a little bit of, you know.
I have given you information, and I know you know what happened.
Why'd you guys have to come get me at 3 in the morning, 2:15?
Because that's the way this works.
Is it?
This is your time. This is your time to tell me what happened.
I don't know how I can help you, man. I really don't.
Because you don't want to?
No, because I don't know. And honestly, like, not that I'm doing this, but I'm not super inclined to help you guys anyway. Came banging on my door at 2:30 in the morning, 2 in the morning, whatever time it was.
Okay. So this stonewall is because you're not inclined to help, not because you don't remember.
No,
and
no.
if it is, that's fine. I don't want to, but that's honesty, right? That's what I'm trying to get out of this, right?
I said that I wasn't doing that. I'm trying to be helpful.
You also said you weren't inclined to, so kind of leading the other direction as well.
No, I understand that. But it's, you know, somebody comes banging on your door at 2 in the morning, you want to help them?
I'd be scared shitless, to be honest with you. They came banging on my door at 2 o'clock in the morning.
See?
Yeah.
Shining flashlights in my window of my room.
Okay. So what on earth do you think would warrant that type of response?
Sorry?
What do you think would warrant that type of response?
Well, I think you guys think I killed, whatever that girl was, Alexa Bartell.
Okay. Why?
That's why you're asking about the rocks, but I had nothing to do with it.
Okay. Now we're getting somewhere.
But
Why not? Where were you at?
I don't know. I was probably at home. I keep telling you, I was sick that night, so I wanted to go home early.
Okay.
Probably would have wanted to go home early, I don't know.
You probably would have wanted to go home early?
I really wasn't feeling well.
Okay. All right. So why didn't you go home?
Why didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
I did.
What time did you get home?
I don't know, I don't know,
Ballpark.
ballpark, like, high tens.
By high tens, you mean
Like
10-ish, 11 o'clock? 13 minutes?
Yeah, like quarter till maybe. Something like that.
Like quarter to 11 or quarter to 10?
Quarter to 11.
Quarter to 11.
Not quarter to 10.
All right. You're not feeling well. You get home about quarter to 10. You normally hang out after dinner. So that's a good spell of time, yeah? 4 hours-ish?
God, I
After
hope it
dinner?
wasn't that long.
You guys were together?
Yeah, sure. Call it that.
What happened in that 4 hours?
I don't know, man.
Here we go again. Okay, so we had to go rewind and start back over. Just let it out. I know you want to say it. You're just holding it back. What's going through your mind?
I've got something in my eye.
Yeah. just talking about you rubbing your eye.
Sorry?
I'm not just talking about you rubbing your eye. You're clearly sitting there thinking. I'm asking you what's going through your mind.
Well, if you want to run through what I just thought through, there's like weird corners in your phone case. And I was wondering if you had kids.
Fair questions.
Probably more the kid one than the phone case one, huh?
Why do you think I would be inclined to answer that? Why do you think you were entitled to that information?
That's why I didn't ask.
Okay.
Innit? So help me out here, man.
I'll pass that. I've helped you, and you're saying nothing back.
I think I've given you some fair information.
Think so?
Yeah.
I disagree. You've given me absolutely nothing I can verify. You have given me no information.
What do you want to be able to verify? Like where I was, my whereabouts, what
Where were you at? What are you guys doing?
Fucking
Give me a place that you were at, a time you were at, where I can look at anything.
We were at Walmart.
Okay, you're at Walmart. When? Give me a time. What did you do there, other than steal Starburst?
We went to a Circle K off of... God, like... There's a Circle K off, like, Sheridan. There's an office building right behind it. I know that because I had to go pee, so I went inside, and I went pee. I came back out, and they were parked right at that office building trying to, like, fool me or whatever.
Okay.
At...
What time?
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock?
9 o'clock, probably a little bit earlier than that.
Cool. That's something. Thank you.
If you want somewhere to verify my location.
Sure. Now we're at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
You didn't get home until almost 11. So what about happened in the 2 hours after?
Just driving around, digging around. I was putting my head down watching probably motorcycle videos on my phone.
Okay. So you're on your phone at the time?
We might have played a game of pool.
Like on your phone or in real? Like place?
Mitch's house.
Mitch's house. Okay. So you played a game of pool at Mitch's house.
Right.
Okay. What else?
I think we sat and parked over by, there's like a park by my house. Like a big open park, just a parking lot by a big field. I think we went and sat and talked in there for a while.
Okay. Is that before or after Walmart?
After.
Before or after? Okay, so it's after Walmart. What about before or after Circle K?
Or after, so okay, after.
Okay. And where'd you go from there?
I don't remember. It's all a blur, dude. I don't remember what we were doing.
Okay. Was it a good time or was it a bad time?
It was a bad time because I told them I wanted to go home. And they said, you'll get home when we want you to get home.
Okay.
Shit like that.
Why did you want to go home?
Because I was sick.
Okay. And when did you tell them you were sick?
What did I tell them?
Yeah.
Probably when they picked me up.
And why'd you get in the car with them?
I don't know. They invited me. I was like, sounds like something to do. Been cooped up in my house, you know. So, you know, it's you get when you're sick. I got a haircut that day. At 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. See, and then I ran late to Stanley because the haircut took so long. And then, I'm really trying to help you out here. I'm trying to walk through it. Like, it's not, I'm not trying to make your life harder, right? I'm not trying to make your life harder because I know you gotta write all this shit down. But it's just, I'm having trouble. So I went and got a haircut. I was already late back to Warntag. I had long lunch that day, so it was Monday, or because it was Wednesday. I think it's either Wednesday or Thursday. I got long lunch. I can't remember, but I think it was long lunch in that day. Then I came home. I took a nap. Did some schoolwork. Ate dinner. Then Mitch came and got me.
Was Joe with him when he picked you up? Always together.
We went and picked our buddy up.
Do you remember, like, roughly where that was at?
Roughly.
Close to Candelas or somewhere else?
It was far.
So you go pick a buddy up, or their buddy up. Then what?
Oh, you know what? We ended up at Come and Go up on Highway 72 in Indiana. At one point.
Where was that in the whole?
Trying to think of
Was that
that.
like before the friend, after the friend?
After the friend.
Okay.
It was just the three of us.
So after the friend had been picked up and then returned home?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. What happened there?
I don't know.
Yeah, snacks. Stealing more Starburst.
Talking to a group of kids.
Do you remember any of their names? Okay. Then what?
I drove around for a bit and then I went home.
Were you just driving around in the Arvada area, or did you go somewhere else?
I don't know. I already told you about Walmart. So.
Yeah. So you already went to Walmart. So Walmart was before the Come and Go? Or after?
I'm not sure.
So what can you tell me about when you were driving around? Did you leave anything in the truck?
Did I leave something in there?
Mm-hmm.
I doubt it.
I'm just asking.
Keep my shit pretty tight knit in my pocket.
Okay.
There's an order to it.
Are we just going to keep going around in circles like this, or are you going to tell me what happened while you guys drove out?
I don't know.
So is that it?
Sorry.
So is that it?
Yep. Think so.
Think so or no so?
Think so.
Okay.
Stuff might still come to me.
We've been in here a little bit. I'm going to go grab you some more water. I'll be right back. You want to hand me your glass? There you go. Need the bathroom? No? Cool. All right. Here's the deal. Gone around and around. You want info? Here's info. You've been implicated in throwing the rock that hit Alexa Bartell in the head and killed her.
How?
Give me something that's going to refute that. Okay? Because I think it's true. I think you guys are all been running around. I've given you the opportunity to tell me a story that fits. And all you're giving me is just nonsense, right? So here's the story. This is what I know. You're in the car. You're with Mitch. And you're with Joe. You picked up the rocks, and you threw them out the window.
You think I did all of it?
That's what I'm being told. Now, this is your opportunity to tell me otherwise.
Being told by who?
Who do you think?
By Dick
Who would
McClellan.
know that information? Come on. Let's be real.
And I didn't throw the rocks.
Who did?
The driver.
Okay? When, why, where, and how?
I don't know why, because they're idiots.
Okay?
Total idiots. What was the other one? When, why? When? I don't know. Where? I don't know.
And you're still lying. Just you know.
How? Dick
Give me an area, a street, something.
I don't know. I think we did one like 64th or something.
Okay?
But I just sit in the back seat and watch them do this, and they laugh about it. I was like, oh, okay.
Okay? Tell them to stop.
Yeah, I mean, I told them it wasn't a great idea.
Okay?
I never was like, I guess I never laid down the law. I was like, you need to stop. But I was starting to ask to go home. They were like, take you home when you want to go home.
Okay. When did you start throwing the rocks? Because I know you threw rocks too.
I didn't throw one. Not a single stone was thrown by me.
Okay? Tell me more. Tell me more about what they were doing. Where did they get the rocks? Where did they go? How were they throwing them?
Like this. Or sometimes the other one would lob it over the car.
Okay? Then what?
I don't know.
I'm not going back to this game. Look. You know, you were there. You were in the back seat. You were watching it.
Yeah, you'd speed up and then huck them out the window.
At what?
Cars.
Moving or parked?
Moving?
How many times
I don't know.
that you saw?
How many, like, separate stones did they throw?
Yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't count.
Okay. Couldn't count or didn't count. There's a difference. And if you didn't count, that's fine.
I was sitting there on my phone playing True Skate.
True skate? Okay. When was the last time you were out with them while they were destroying stuff?
That night.
Okay. What night are we talking about?
Wednesday.
Thank you. Now we're being honest.
I've been being honest with you, man.
Just stop. Just stop. Right? So Wednesday night, you guys are out throwing rocks.
It's no you guys.
Okay?
It's Dumb and Dumber. I told you about them.
Tell me about the rocks. You're throwing and moving rocks. Where'd you go? What did they do? What did they say? How did they act?
Mitch would use, like, I guess marine terminology.
Like what?
Like contact right, contact left, fire, stuff like that.
Okay. How did Mitch respond?
How did Mitch respond?
I'm sorry, how did Joe respond?
Throw a rock.
Okay. How long did this go on for?
I don't know. They've been doing it for a long time. Seems like they've got a whole system worked out.
Before Wednesday, how many times have you gone with them?
No, just the once. I think.
Whose idea was it to go?
It wasn't mine.
Okay. Whose was it?
They just picked me up and I went along with it.
Did you know that's what they were going to do?
No, I doubt it. Probably wouldn't have gone.
But you were there when the rocks were picked up.
Where's
I know
the-
you were.
Yeah.
Did you pick up the rocks or did they pick up the rocks? There's a chance for you to tell me something I know off of a video.
Well, I know. If
Right.
you know, then you know. I picked him up.
Okay. How many did you pick up?
No idea.
Handful? Less than a handful?
I don't know. Probably 4.
Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. Thank you. See? You picked up 4 rocks, brought them in the car. Where was this at?
I don't know.
Guess.
I got nothing for you.
Was it at a business?
It could have been.
Okay, you picked up maybe 4. How many did they pick up?
I don't know. More than me. I
Where
didn't-
did those rocks go when
Where
they got
did
picked
they-
up?
Where did they go?
In the car.
Well, until we started driving, I had mine at my feet, and then I started handing them up to Mitch.
Okay.
Because I didn't want to have anything to do with it.
How's handing them up not having anything to do with it?
If they're not by me, you know, not doing anything with them.
Okay.
It's just stupid crime.
Yeah, it is. It is a stupid crime. I agree with you 100% on that. So you're handing rocks up front. Then what?
I don't know, we drove around for a bit,
Okay.
and they did their thing.
Tell me about the first car that rock got thrown at.
I don't know what it was.
Where was it?
I don't know. I was on my phone.
Tell me about the last rock that was thrown. I know you know that one.
That
Because you
one.
know I've got your phone, right?
Yeah, I do know that.
Okay.
Why do you need my phone?
Tell me about the last rock that was thrown.
It hit a car.
Where? Don't say I don't know. Just
Indiana.
okay. What happened next?
The car went off the road.
Okay. Who threw that rock?
Driver.
Car goes off the road. What happens next?
They want to check it out, so they flip around. They see the cars in the field, and they assume that it just stopped or like broke a tire out or something.
Okay. How close did you get to the car?
Not at all.
How close did they get to the car?
Not at all. Just drove past it.
Okay. What happens next?
I think we all just go home. It's like 10:30.
Tell me about the conversation when you guys left there.
They said this never leaves his car and a whole bunch of other shit.
Okay. What doesn't leave the car?
That somebody got thrown off the road by a rock that they threw.
Okay.
And then
How'd you feel?
well, truthfully, when I woke up in the morning, I saw Indiana was closed. Thought I was going to be sick.
Okay. Why?
Because the only reason they closed both lanes on a road like that is because somebody died.
Bingo. Why'd you take a picture of it?
Why did I take a picture of it?
Huh?
Because I thought they would want it.
Who?
Mitch or Joe.
Did they tell you to take that picture?
I can't remember, but, you know, there's a car sitting out there and we were moving, so I took it.
What'd you see?
It's a blur.
Focus.
What did I see in the picture, or what did I see?
What did you see?
A car just sitting out there?
Tell me about that car. Color. What was it doing?
I don't know anything about it.
Gotta know something about it.
Have red tail lights.
Something. Okay. Did you know she was dead?
Oh. God, no.
You know they're blaming you for throwing that rock.
Figured they would as soon as you said it.
How are we gonna prove otherwise? You tell me.
I don't know how I would prove it.
Okay. So how many rocks did you throw, if you didn't throw that one?
Didn't throw any.
None at all.
Not a single one.
Not a single rock, even at a parked car?
No.
But you did hand them up.
Yes.
Okay. Did they ask for them, or were you just feeding them forward?
They asked for them. I believe. I don't know.
Okay. How many other people got hurt?
I don't know.
A lot.
No.
Did you think even giving them a rock to throw out of the car had the potential to kill somebody?
I didn't really think through it until, that morning when I did some math and have racks traveling fast.
Rock's traveling fast.
Yeah.
Did you guys stop and go back and look at any other cars?
I don't think so.
Okay. Why did you pick that one?
Because I turned back and I watched it go off the road.
What'd you say when you saw that?
Oh my God.
Fair. What'd they do?
Flipped a bitch before we got to the light on Sims or something.
How long did you spend at the car when you got back to it?
Didn't spend any time.
Did you stop?
No.
Just drove.
So I said, blur.
What can you tell me about any of the other cars?
Nothing. I couldn't tell you a single thing about any of them.
Okay. I'm going to ask you this. Were you under the influence?
I was not, no. Maybe. No, I was not. I definitely wasn't.
Okay. So, clear mind. Been a while since you've done any drugs, any alcohol. Were they drinking at all?
No, Joe doesn't drink, and I don't think Mitch was.
Okay. All right. Were all the rocks thrown?
I don't know.
Tell me about this other fourth guy. Where'd he come into play?
I don't think he did.
Was he with you when you guys were throwing the rocks?
Like I said, we dropped him off early.
Okay. Had you already picked up rocks when you dropped them off?
I don't know. The only thing I know about him is he's kind of a douchebag.
Okay. All right, now that your memory's starting to fill in, tell me more. Tell me a story. Start at the beginning and walk me through what happened. At the beginning of this conversation, I told you that this was your opportunity to get your side of the story. And I want to hear it. I want to believe you. But I need you to tell me a story from the beginning, from the time Mitch picked you up.
From the time Mitch picked me up.
Yeah.
We went somewhere.
Okay.
I don't know where. Then we went and picked up his buddy.
Which one? The one that left earlier?
Yeah.
Or that got dropped off? Okay.
Joe and Mitch were together when they got to my house.
Okay.
Picked up whatever the buddy's name was, drove around, did something, went to Walmart, then after we were somewhere where there was an underpass, some road work at a gas station.
Where'd the rocks get picked up at all this?
I don't know.
But you picked them up, so...
I don't know where it was. And then, we went to that Circle K. And they, parked and left me. And then they came back, shining their big stupid flashlight in my eyes.
Were you sleeping? Were they trying to wake you up?
No.
Or were they just being jerks?
Being dicks.
Okay.
Like Dumb and Dumber.
Okay. So, Circle K, shining flashlights. What's next?
Okay, shining flashlights. Take the other dude home.
Okay.
Then drive around and then doing stupid shit.
Okay. We need more detail on stupid shit. You know the stupid shit is why we're here, right?
Yeah, you know.
So you drive it around.
Mitch did this thing where you'd grab a trash can while they're moving, and Joe would speed up, and Mitch would toss a trash can through your end of a car.
Okay.
I think he did that. Yeah, and then they were throwing rocks.
How'd the rock start?
What do you mean?
Like that night, how did the rock throwing start?
I don't know, truthfully. I don't know how it ever started to begin with.
Were they both on board with it?
Yeah. Excited about it.
Did they try and get you to do it? Tell me about that. What did they do to try and coerce you to throw those rocks?
Probably couldn't tell you.
Tell me about the first rock again.
The first rock?
What was it thrown at?
I don't know. I can't remember the first one.
Okay. What's the first one you do remember?
The last one. That's the last one.
When did you see that? When did they ask you for that rock?
When did they ask me for that?
For that rock, for that last rock.
I don't think I had it.
Okay. Where did it come from?
Mitch's lap? Or Joe's lap? Whoever was driving.
Okay. Tell me more.
I don't know, he wanted to go fast, so he sped up really fast, and then...
Did you see the rock hit?
I did not know.
Okay.
Joe says he did.
So what prompted you to turn around then?
I wasn't driving.
Well, no, I didn't turn around the vehicle. You said you turned around.
Oh, it sounded huge, dude. It made, like... It was big. You ever heard of, like, railguns before?
Mm-hmm.
It sounded like something like that, like hitting a railgun hitting concrete at 1,500 miles an hour. Those big old steel shells. It was big.
Okay. You told me what you said. What did they say?
Sorry?
You already told me what you said when you saw it. Covered that.
Joe said "holy shit" in this little voice that he does. Can't remember what Mitch says. And then after we were driving away, and they said some stuff, and never leaves us, and blood brothers now type shit. I was like, okay.
How'd that make you feel?
Scared.
Did you get the feeling it's ever gone that far before with them?
Before?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. By the reaction, they were pretty like calm about it, but I don't think it ever had.
Who was driving at that point?
I'm not sure. I think it was Joe. Who, you know who I'm talking about now, right?
Of course I do.
You knew from the beginning.
I did.
I knew it. Yes.
We didn't show up at your door by accident.
Yeah, I figured.
And we could have wrapped this up an hour ago if we would have been at this position an hour ago. But you know what? We're past that. Let's keep talking. We got stuff going. So, they're acting calm. Holy shit, in this voice he does, is it like a character voice?
No, it's just Joe's voice.
Okay. All right. So, holy shit, then what happens?
Then, we go home.
Well, you said you turned around at some point, right?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
Sorry, after we turned around.
Okay, so you turn around, you get back.
Mhm.
All right. Did you stop at the car?
No, never. Why? Why do you keep asking that?
I need to understand what happened, because you understand this rock is the most important rock of the night. And understanding that is important. Okay?
Okay.
When you took the picture, tell me about that. When, how, what side of the car?
I don't know. Well, you know what? I was sitting passenger side.
Okay.
And I think when we were driving by, we were moving fast, and I just, snapped a little picture of it because I wanted to be able to see better. Or we were moving fast, I don't know. I think they thought they would want it for, memory's sake or something. And then as soon as I realized it happened, I got rid of it.
So you deleted the picture?
Yeah.
Okay. So at this point, if I'm understanding the story, now you guys are heading northbound on Indiana, right?
This is after we turn around, riding
Okay,
northbound.
so you turn around, and you're heading southbound, that's when you took the picture.
Yes.
There. Okay.
Wait. Northbound. We're heading northbound when we took the picture. Sorry.
Do you know if you're heading northbound or southbound when you threw the rock?
The opposite of, so southbound?
Okay, so you're going southbound when you threw the rock, so that means you turn around, and you took the picture after you turned around the first time, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Where did he turn around the second time? Where did he turn around the second time?
I can't remember. I think he turned around the second time when I think we came back down to Indiana.
Okay. So you go down Indiana, then where do you go next?
My house.
What happens there?
Like, go home.
Did they go inside with you?
No. They just dropped me off. My child lock was on the door, so I tried to get out and open it. That's right. Mitch was not driving. He was in the passenger seat.
So child lock was on, he had to let you out. Was there any discussion in the street?
In the road?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
And this was right in front of your house, right? Like right in front of your house, or
Yeah, I
down the
think
street?
Maybe a little bit off from front, yeah.
Okay. Did you go inside before they left?
I don't know.
All right. So you're back inside. What did you do next?
Laid my ass down and, thought about what happened and went to bed.
So after doing that and seeing that, you went to sleep?
Not well. But, I mean, I didn't think she was dead until the morning.
Didn't think to call the police to check on her because she went off the road?
Dude, I was scared.
Yeah.
I mean,
Scared of what?
well, as soon as it happened, you're not immediately going to think, wow, I should call the police report when it just, I just witnessed happening. Or by your friends, quote unquote,
Mm-hmm.
And then, I figured that Mitch and Joe were going to be, have each other's backs because they're like this. They've known each other for way longer than me.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured that doesn't work in my favor. A million other reasons why.
Did you tell anybody about what happened?
No. They told me not to. Said, take this to the grave.
Did they threaten you in any way?
They didn't directly threaten me, but I got the impression that it'd be bad if I did, talk.
So since Thursday morning, have you talked to either one of them?
I saw Joe afterwards, Thursday.
Tell me about that.
We went to Denny's,
And?
had a chat. He wanted to get a story straight, just in case you guys came and talked to us.
Okay. What was that story that he wanted told?
He wanted to be. He said that after we dropped off his friend, he said that he wanted to be, or he wanted us to say that he went home, and that's what he told people too. They went home right after.
Right after dropping off
Yeah.
the friend.
That he had Mitch drop off him then.
Okay. So why didn't you just tell me that story today?
Because it's such a horrible story.
It is. Okay.
Did they tell you it?
Not me. No, I honestly haven't talked to them. Other people on my team have, but I haven't.
Yeah, it was a bad story. I gave you a truthful one. I'm trying to.
Now we're talking the truth, yeah.
No, at this point, I'm trying to save my ass.
Okay.
Which, I mean, dude.
So you meet at the Denny's, and it was Joe that tried to get you to tell the story?
Yeah.
Okay. Was Mitch there?
No.
It was just the two of you?
That's still one time I've seen Joe alone.
Fair. Have you talked to either one of them since?
No, not really. Maybe a group chat.
And when you say group chat, are you guys on like a chain SMS thing, or what are we using?
Snapchat for that.
Okay. How do you think this should be handled?
I have no idea.
do I need to know? Now that we're being honest. Because there is something you know that I don't. It's going to happen because I wasn't there.
I don't know, man.
Okay.
I didn't kill her. It's horrifying. It's horrible.
I agree.
I didn't talk to you guys because, you know, I'm still going to be, you know, be for being an accomplice or whatever.
Do you think that's right? That you're held accountable as being complicit to the act? And that's a subjective question to you. Do you think that's the right thing to have happen?
I think it depends on the scenario, and I'm not sure about this one.
Okay.
But I was looking at it, or I was thinking through it, and I reckoned I'd get, like, at least a little bit of jail time, which my little ass can't do. You know? It's just, that's why I didn't come to you guys.
Fair. I can respect that, and that's the truth. Right.
I don't feel like having dudes putting their in my ass for, you know, all eternity.
Okay. We all got bosses. So before I step out and talk to my bosses, what else do I need to know? What else do I need to tell them?
That's it.
All right. Hang tight. We'll be right back with you.
Talk to a lawyer.
Okay. Hang tight. We'll be right back with you, all right?
I want to make it very clear that I did not kill that girl. I did not throw that rock. I don't know what they told you. I don't know what you think happened. I did not throw that rock. Okay.
I hear you. Okay.
No, I don't need you to hear me. I need you to believe me. I did not throw that rock.
I wasn't in there.
No.
But I hear what you're saying, and I hear your conviction. Okay?
All right.
So this is where we're at. As we're talking, and we were talking about Alexa, I heard a lot about you being worried about getting blamed, being in trouble, right? I didn't hear a single word about being worried about her, right? I'm just telling you what I heard. That was something very impactful for me during our little conversation. I just want to make sure I shared that with you. So you also need to understand that, yes, there is a level of complicity with everybody in the car, right? So there is a subset of first-degree murder that says you have an extreme indifference to human life. And that is exactly what you guys demonstrated tonight. So at this point, you are under arrest for first-degree murder. You're going to be booked into jail. And you're going to have an opportunity to get served the charges. And this is not a bailable offense. Okay? Do you have any questions for me?
You know.
No?
That's gonna
Yes or
change
no?
anything.
All right. Do me a favor. Stand up.
That down there.
Face the wall. Hands behind your back.
Kwok's interview eventually came to an end, but not before he placed responsibility on the others in the truck. His statements added new details, but they also conflicted with portions of the timeline investigators were building. By that point, all three suspects were offering differing versions of events, each pointing towards someone else when asked who threw the rock that killed Alexa Bartell. Detectives still did not have a consistent account, and determining who actually threw the fatal rock remained one of the central questions in the investigation. Months later, that opportunity came when Nicholas Mitch Karol-Chik agreed to participate in a proffer interview, a formal attorney-supervised statement given as part of ongoing plea discussions.
Thanks for coming out.
Thank you for
I apologize,
interviewing
we
me.
kind of did a little press on lunch there. I wasn't sure what the schedule was upstairs.
I was able to finish.
All right, good. So I guess my first question right off is, why do you want to talk with us today?
I feel like there's a lot that I was initially untruthful with. Obviously, it was in the time, a very traumatizing situation. Never been arrested before, so I was very nervous at the time. So there's a lot that I want to clear up. There's also a lot that, wasn't initially stated. And I feel like you guys obviously deserve to know the truth. The family deserves to know the truth.
Okay, appreciate that. So where do you want to start?
It's up to you. We could just go back through the day again, because there's a lot that obviously I've had time to think about. There's a lot that came back to memory. There's a lot that I wasn't truthful with. So maybe just go back through the day if you have any questions.
Well, let's just start here, since this is really your statement and your meaning. Why don't you just start where you want to start, and we'll kind of fill in with questions and clarify if that works for you.
All right.
So just start wherever you need to start.
So I think just going back through April 19th would probably be the best starting point. So for a lot of that day, it was my day off. It was a Wednesday. So I spent the majority of the day at home just doing school, getting all that done. I think it was around 5 or 6 that Joe Koenig texted me. And me and him, we had a car together, a truck that we bought together. So we needed to move it from point A to point B, point A being our friend Diego's house, and point B being a lot that we were renting to store the truck. So I met up with him at Diego's house, and he took the truck, and I followed him in my truck, and we dropped it off at the lot. And then afterwards, we decided to hang out some more. So it was around that time, around that 5 to 6-ish, where Joe asked if we wanted to pick up Zach, and I told him sure. So he's the one who initiated that communication through, I believe, Snapchat. He texted him. So he texted him, and we went over to pick him up at his house. I think after we picked him up, we somehow got onto the conversation of air filters for cars, and I told them that I hadn't replaced mine in a while. So it was at that point that we ended up going to AutoZone to pick up a new air filter for my truck. And then it was also at AutoZone that while I was putting in the air filter on my truck, that Joe texted his friend Joseph Bopp to see if he wanted to hang out. And Joseph said yes. So we went from AutoZone, that was on 64th in Indiana, and we dropped by my house because it was on the way because I had to drop some stuff off. I dropped off the old air filter because I like holding on to those old parts. And then we went to pick up Joseph. I'm not sure exactly where he lives. I know he lives out east of where we live. So it was after we picked up Joseph. At this point, I was still driving the truck. That we were just driving around for a bit. And eventually, along the way, we were driving around for a while. We ended up at the Walmart that is on, I believe, 72nd and Sheridan. So we dropped by there. I remember we parked on the south side of the lot, but the south entrance was closed, so we had to walk to the north entrance. It's just one of the things that stuck out to me. So we went in, we used the restroom, all 4 of us did, and then we went through the auto section just to look at some things. And while we were there, we did shoplift a couple items. I feel like that's the least of my worries at this point. So we did, me, Zach, and Joe did. I don't know if Joseph did. So I took a small can of WD-40, so did Zach, and so did Joe. And then Zach also took a pack of Starburst while we were exiting the store. Then it was in the Walmart parking lot. We were kind of messing around. They had one of those, those posters where it's like, we buy junk cars, and they have the little pull tabs that has the phone number on it. Yeah, I was messing around and putting those pull tabs under people's windshields, and it was while we were walking back to the car that Joe brought up the idea of throwing rocks, pretty much. And at this point, this wasn't anything new to me, and it also wasn't anything new to Zach. He had been involved once previously with us. so he knew what was going on. So it was also at this point that I let Joe drive the car because I just didn't feel comfortable driving, I guess, while we were doing that. So I gave Joe the keys, then me and Zach took the rocks. I'd like to say we got 4 or 5 each. And it was when we got back into the car that Joseph asked to be dropped off. So from that Walmart, we headed like northeast-ish to drop Joseph back off at his house. And then it was while we were in Joseph's neighborhood that we initially started throwing the rocks at parked cars at that point. So I guess there wasn't like a whole lot of communication. It just happened. Like I said, we had all been through this before, so it just happened. So obviously we're just going there, and as we're driving through the neighborhood, we're throwing these rocks at these parked cars. And I want to say after we exited the neighborhood, we started heading south towards, I think, a gas station, because I think that Zach needed to use the restroom again. So we dropped him off. Then me and Joe were still in the truck. And just to kind of mess with him a bit, we pulled away from the gas station while he was inside. So when he came out, he was looking around for us. So just kind of messing with him like that. And then we pulled towards this like office building, kind of where we hid out and looked at him. Don't really know the exact location of the gas station, but we pulled over there. And then, after, we left him alone for like 5 minutes, kind of just messing with him. We went back around and we pulled up, and he just hopped into the bed of the truck. And it was at that point Joe was still driving, so he took off south again. And then we hit a stoplight on the cross street was 80th, but I don't know the street that went north-south. And by that point, Zach hopped back into the car, and we were actually behind, I want to say it was a Land Rover. And so Zach was kind of messing, and he had like this balaclava that he was wearing, but it was rolled up so it looked like a beanie. So he pulled the balaclava down, and he went to like the back of this like SUV, and he was just messing with it, and he like folded not the windshield, the mirror in, and it was at that point that we took off heading a right on that stoplight. So at that point we were heading west back towards Arvada on 80th. And I want to say that while we were in Joseph's neighborhood, we threw all the rocks that we had. So we had probably 8 to 10 total. So while we were in his neighborhood, we threw all the rocks. So we headed on 80th, and then where it crosses with Sims, you can take a right, and then you can take a left, and you'll be in the Apex Rec Center parking lot. So we stopped in there, and me and Zach got out, and Joe rolled down his window, and me and Zach started grabbing like the landscaping rocks that we had in there, and we were grabbing them from this Apex parking lot and handing them to Joe, and we took a couple trips each between me and Zach. So I want to say by this point we probably had 15 to 20 rocks between all of us in the car. So it's at that point that we exited that Apex lot, and we started heading west. And I'm not sure what the cross street is, but if you take the road, it goes to a 90-degree turn where it turns from that to Alkire. So we took that, and now we're on Alkire. And then we got caught at the stoplight that cross-sects between Alkire and I believe 86th is the cross street. So we were on the south side of that stoplight waiting for the red light. And on the northeast corner, there was a car that was abandoned there pretty much. So it was at that point that Zach was moving around behind in the passenger seat because he had the back seat all to himself. So he moved from the back driver to the back passenger side. And he pretty much told Joe as soon as the light goes green, speed up. So Joe did, and me and Zach both had our windows down, and we threw the rocks at this abandoned car that was there. So after that, we kept going northbound on Alkire, and then Alkire towards when it intersects with, I want to say 96th Avenue is where it like kind of does a curve, and then 96 comes and curves, and Alkire continues northbound. So we turned right, so we were still on Alkire, and then after that, Alkire kind of does another 90-degree turn where it turns from Alkire to 100th. So it was while we were heading on between Alkire and on 100th, there's a dog park. So in that general vicinity, that's when Joe and Zach both threw a rock at. I believe that point it was the minivan that got struck. So they both threw one at the minivan. And so we kept going on Alkire, or on 100th at this point, and then we headed, we took a left, so we were heading north onto Sims. And when you're on Sims, on the west side of the road, there's like office buildings. So I believe it's like the second or third turnoff, you can head into this office building. And so Joe took a left into this parking lot, and we went around the back side of this building. So we were on the west side of this office building. And with how the lot was, it curved around the building, and then there was a roundabout out back, and then it went back around. And while we were going around the building, there was like this security golf cart out front, and Zach said, "You know how easy it is to push one of those things over?" And I told him, "Yeah, I worked at a country club for like 5 years. I've had to deal with that a time or two." So he was like, "Wouldn't it be funny if we pushed that over?" So Joe pulled up and parked, and me, Joe, and Zach all got out, and we pushed this like golf cart that was in the parking lot over. And as we were running back to the truck, Joe says he saw a security guard running out after us, but I can't confirm whether that's true or not. So Joe pulls back out of this lot, and he takes a right onto Sims. And it was while we were on Sims that he took a left into one of the neighborhoods. I can't tell you exactly which neighborhood, but it was in that neighborhood that we started hitting parked cars again throughout the neighborhood. So we were doing that, and eventually we came out on the other side. So this neighborhood's like between 108th and like 100th, so we came out on 100th. And by that point, we were out of rocks or close to. I think we had a couple more at that point. Yeah, we had a couple more at that point. So we turned onto 100th, and we took a right out of this neighborhood, so we were heading westbound again. And when we got to the end of that, we turned. It's kind of confusing there. 100th turns right onto Sims, but then you can take another left, and it continues as 100th. So we turned back left on 100th. So now we're heading west on this, and the dog park's on our right, and up ahead we see the van from before pulled off on the shoulder with the flashers on. And by this point, it wasn't quite dark out, but it was getting there, so we couldn't really see it. It was at this point that Joe was like, "Should we stop and ask if they need help?" And I pretty much told them that was pretty fucking stupid, given that what we had just done. And I think it was Zach who said, "Should we hit it again?" And at that point, I thought I saw someone, but I couldn't be sure. So I was like, "No, we probably shouldn't." So we just kept going past it, and then we hit that 90-degree turn again. So now we were heading south on Alkire. and then it kind of curved again, and we took the left, so we were staying on Alkire. And as we were heading past, it was like between 88th and 87th, there was like a car parked on the right side of the road, so it was on the west side of the road. So me and Zach both hit that one. And then it was at that point that we hit 86th Avenue, and we took a right, so we were heading west on 86th. And then from there we turned left on once we hit Indiana, so we were heading south, and then we took another left, so we were in the Come and Go parking lot. So it was while we were at the Come and Go that we got a couple of snacks. I got a couple iced teas for me and Joe, and Zach saw some people he knew in there, so me and Joe just went out to the car to wait for him. I smoked a cigarette while we were waiting, and he was taking a while, so Joe stayed in the car, and I went back inside to, see what was taking him a while. So I went up to him, and he was like a group of people, I assume, that he knew, so I kind of was messing with them. I put an arm around him. I was like, is this guy messing with you? And they were just talking about, like, plans for prom. So they talked for, like, another couple minutes, and then me and Zach went back outside to Joe. And at this point, Joe is still driving, so he takes us out of the Come and Go lot, and we turn right onto Indiana, so now we were heading north on Indiana. And then we passed a couple of stoplights, and then we turned left onto Candelas Parkway, and it's like couple hundred yards, you can take another left, and there's just this road that kind of winds around, and there's like a medical center right on the corner there. So we took that and we went around this road, and where this road ends up, there's like a big dirt field around the like west end of it. So there's like this big dirt field that you can drive into. So Joe took us up there, and it was while we were there that we grabbed some more rocks out of the, like, I guess just the earth that were just there. So we went there, and we grabbed more of the rocks, and then after that was done, he took us back out onto the road we were on before, and then he took a left into the medical center's parking lot. And he was pretty much looking for more rocks. And he like drove around the whole lot, and we got to the exit, and he stopped by like the right side of the exit pretty much. There was like a whole bunch of like little stones there. And Zach got out, and he was like, hey, help me with this. And it was like one of those like brick wall kind of separating the parking lot from the hill. I don't know if you like kind of understand, but he was like, help me with this, and so I tried to help him, and it was cemented down. And it was kind of as I was getting back into the car, there was like one of the rocks there is a pretty bigger one, and it was like all muddy and all that. So I took it and I tossed it out of the car, and Joe was like, hey dude, what are you doing? And I was like, that's too big. I don't know if I'm gonna throw that. And Zach was like, if you're not, I will. So Zach got out, and he grabbed the rock, and he brought it into the back seat with him. So I had rocks at my feet, and Zach had some in the back seat with him. So Joe took us out of this lot, and then we took a right back onto Candelas Parkway. So now we were heading east. And then we took a right onto Indiana, so now we were heading south. And then from there we took a left onto 86th, so we were heading east again. And then we took 86 to where it loops around Stanley Lake, and you can take a right on Sims, and the Stanley Lake Library is right there. And that's a place that me and Joe would always go to grab those landscaping rocks. So me and Zach got out, and we did the same thing. We grabbed handfuls and handed them into Joe. And then we got back in, and Joe took us out, took a left. So we were heading north on Sims, took another left. We're heading west on 86th. So he followed 86th, and then 86th, it turns into like Coal Creek Coal Creek Canyon Road when we were looking at? Or like State Highway 72. It's one of those, like, really. So it turns into that while we're still heading west. And then it intersects with Highway 93. So we turned onto Highway 93, and now we were heading northbound on 93. So it was off the left side of 93, there's like a bar and grill there, and then the Highway 93 kind of curves a little bit. And it was after we passed that bar and we were like on the curve that Joe sped up and he overtook a car that was in front of us. And then it was at that point that Joe and Zach moved from behind me in the passenger seat to behind Joe in the driver's seat. And they both rolled down their window, and they were throwing quite a few rocks. And I want to say at least 2 or 3 of them hit cars that were on Highway 93 that were coming southbound as we were heading north. So after that happened, off Highway 93, you hit a stoplight, and you can turn right onto 120th Avenue. So we turned right onto 120th, and we followed that for like a mile or two. And then with 120th, you can turn left onto McCaslin Boulevard. So Joe took that left, and it kind of winds down, and there's like a field on the left side, and there's like a whole bunch of houses that are on the right side. So while we were kind of winding down, there's like the first curve, and then there's another. And as we were on that second curve, Joe and Zach hit cars back to back. And I think Joe said to Zach, "You take the second one." So it was at that point they hit the cars back to back, and we kept going. And we hit a roundabout that's right there. And you can follow that roundabout, and you can, at this point, we're heading north. So we took the first exit, and we were heading east. I believe that is Colton Road right there. So we followed that, and then it turns into like Flatirons Crossing Boulevard or something like that. So we took that, and then we turned right onto Interlocking Boulevard, I want to say. So now we're kind of heading like east, southeast, and then we took another right, and I believe that took us to Interlocking Loop. So now we're heading south. So we're kind of coming up the hill. And Interlocking Loop, it ends and it intersects with where 120th Avenue is. So we took that right, and we were heading west on 120th. And as we were passing the airport, there's like 2 cross streets, one that kind of, it's hard to explain. One intersects from the south, and one intersects from the north. And it was while we were in between those 2 cross streets that I kind of took one of the smaller ones, and I like through my window, kind of went up and over, if you kind of get what I'm saying. I don't know if I hit the car or not. But it was after that we kept on 120th until you can take a left onto where Indiana is at. So we took that left onto Indiana, and with kind of that stretch of road, it's very hilly, so like it goes up and down. And as we were like at the top of one of the hills, we saw headlights coming towards us. And I believe that Zach told Joe at that point to speed up. And it was kind of, I don't know why I remember this, but I remember looking at the speedometer, and Joe was going close to 80 miles an hour when we finally crossed paths with the car. And it was also at that point that it was Zach that threw the rock, the final rock. And he kind of looked through the back windshield, and he said something like, "Oh, he didn't say she because we didn't know who it was, but he said, I think they went off the road." And so Zach told Joe, "We have to go see that." And it was kind of that urgency, like we have to. Can't really like place an emotion to it, but so Joe kept going on Indiana, and then at the stoplight where you can turn left onto 96, he did a U-turn, and then I can't remember why, but we pulled onto the shoulder to pretty much throw the rest of the rocks that we had in the vehicle out of the car. So he pulled onto the shoulder. I had some at my feet that I threw out. I don't know if Zach did the same, but I assumed that he did. So after we did that, he pulled back onto the road. So now we were heading northbound on Indiana, and as we were passing, we saw the car that was off to the side of the road. And it was at that point that Joe pretty much was like, holy shit. And so as we went back up Indiana, and then we took a right onto 120th, and we took another right, and we kind of flipped around, and then we took a left onto 120th, and then a left onto Indiana. And with our third time passing the vehicle, Joe slowed down, and Zach took a picture of it through the back windshield of the car. And it was kind of like at that point where we were contemplating if they were seriously hurt. And it was at that point where I think it was Joe that brought up that we were never going to talk about that again, and we were never going to do that again. And we all pretty much, Joe took us to Zach's house, which was in the Leiden Rock area, and we dropped Zach off, and then he took us back up to where his car was parked at our friend's house. And that's kind of where we separated for the night. And then pretty much after we separated, I was coming back out of Leiden, and I just, like, it's hard to explain, but I just had, like, a terrible, like, kind of gut feeling. So instead of taking a left on 86 that would take me back to my house, I took a right. And in doing so, I ended up back on Highway 93. So I took another right, and I pretty much retraced what we had done. So I was going up north on Highway 93, and I saw the cars on the side of the road. And then I took another right onto 120th, and when I was passing the intersection of 120th and McCaslin, I saw the red and blue lights down in the valley. So I kept going, and I turned left onto Interlochen, and then I took another left onto Interlochen Boulevard, and I took another left onto Flatirons Crossing / Colton Road. So now I was heading westbound there. And when I got to the roundabout, I took the third exits, and now I was heading south on McCaslin, back to where they hit the back-to-back cars. And it was while I did that I kind of pulled out my phone, and I took a Snapchat photo of pretty much the cars and like the red and blue lights, and I sent it to Zach and Joe, pretty much saying that we picked up. And so it was after that that I went back up, and I took a left back onto 120th, and I took a right back onto Indiana. And it was while I was heading down Indiana that while I was passing by, there was like shiny stuff on the road, so I assumed that it was glass. And when I looked in my rearview mirror, I did still see the taillights there, and I didn't see any other cars. And I guess that was like the point where that kind of gut feeling I had was just kind of confirmed. So after that, I kind of I went back to the come and go, and I got gas, and I was kind of just like pacing around. I was like really nervous, like really afraid at that point. And after that I went back home, and I would say I went to sleep, but I really couldn't sleep that night. So that was pretty much what happened that day.
Yeah, take a deep breath and get some water.
Fair to say he remembers a lot of these turns because we had Google Maps up when we were going over everything.
Thank you.
Because we wanted to prepare, to make sure he understood. So he was asking if you guys were going to have a map today, and I said, I don't know.
We did have one in case we needed it, but it sounds like you guys prepared well enough to do so.
So
Appreciate that.
Well, we may go through the map.
Yeah.
Can we talk for a sec?
Yes. Okay. We have a lot to unpack there.
Yeah.
Right? I heard a lot of wheeze and kind of you believes, a lot of indirect statements in there, and we really need to work through some of that so we have a true understanding, right?
Okay.
Obviously, there was some question at the beginning of your first interview about your level of truthfulness before, and I appreciate you coming forward and correcting that now, right? So then, is the statement that you just gave us completely true?
Yes.
Okay. So let's take a step back and ask the most important question that all of this is about, okay? Who actually threw that rock that hit Alexa's car?
Zach.
Okay. Describe where he was in the car, how he was holding it, what he said, and as close to the detail of that moment as you can, please.
So Zach was in the back left side of the vehicle, so he was behind the driver. And he had his window down because I heard the wind, and he told Joe to speed up. I did not see him physically throw the rock. So what I was doing was I saw the car coming towards us, and I was kind of, I guess, tracking it as it was coming towards us. And I want to say as it was like pretty much front to the left of our car. So I was kind of looking at it like this, and I saw Joe there, and it was at that moment that I glanced down at the speedometer, and I saw that we were going 80. And after I did that, I looked back, and I didn't witness him throw the rock, but I saw him looking back and the car starting to, I guess, curve off of the road.
Where were Joe's hands?
10 and 2 on the steering wheel. Yes, sir.
Okay. Where did that rock come from?
I believe that the rock that was thrown was the one that I had dumped out of the car, and that Zach said if I wasn't going to throw it, he would, and it was the one that he picked up and brought into the back seat with him.
Why do you think that?
I believe just because of how big the rock was, and then by looking at the photos, I think that I can say confidently that the rock that I threw out of the vehicle that I said was too big for me to throw is the same rock that Zach brought into the vehicle to throw, is the same rock that was used to kill Alexa Bartell.
Detective, can we take a moment and step outside, the four of us?
Yes. Let me explain the interruptions, okay? Just so we're all on the same page and there's nobody hiding anything from anybody else, that includes to you, right? At the very beginning of this, before you started your narration of the events, you talked about being dishonest in your first interview, right? And wanted to set things right for the family, okay? Honestly, what you just told us, absent a little bit of extra detail, matches the second version you told detectives the night of. So my question to you, what part of that first interview were you deceptive about?
I was deceptive about my involvement. I was deceptive about the entirety of Joe's involvement. I was deceptive about events that happened and where they happened.
Okay. Very specifically, one of the purposes of this meeting was to address and correct who threw the rock. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Do you also agree with the fact that what you just told us is the same person that you said the night of? So now you are not correcting anything.
Yeah.
Okay. And you understand how that looks?
Yes.
Okay. The question is why should we still believe you? We've now gone back and forth several times, right? Well, let me ask you this. Is your story, has it been influenced by anybody?
No, it has not.
Through any of the Snapchat communications?
No.
Talk about your relationship with Joe and those conversations that happened in the first couple of days.
After the
event.
So with Joe, immediately after, the day after, he sent me a screenshot of the news story that pretty much told all that happened. And he said that we needed to meet. So
who's the we in that?
That would be me and Joe.
Okay, so just the two of you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So from my understanding, on Thursday night, Joe and Zach met.
And how did you get that understanding?
That was from a group text that we were in, and they told us that we were going to meet, and I told them that I couldn't because I was with my dad that night. So it was on that Friday night that Joe pretty much reached out to me, and
there's that loose language again. I don't want to know pretty much. I want to know what was said.
So Joe texted me and asked if we could meet up, and I told him I could do it on Saturday because I work a half-day Saturday.
Okay.
So after work on Saturday, I went to Joe's work, which is at AutoZone, and we talked about pretty much what Joe brought up is that me and him, he was looking into other stories about similar events, and he was saying that we wouldn't get in trouble, me and Joe, because Zach is the one that threw the rock.
Okay. And how did you reply to that?
I was skeptical, but I was hoping that it wouldn't come to the point where we would have to find out.
What do you mean by that?
I was hoping that it would just, I guess the best way of putting it, I was just burying my head in the sand and hoping that it would all pass over and that it wouldn't become a problem.
At any point did Joe tell you not to talk about this?
Yeah.
How, when, and tell me about that conversation.
So on the night that we were arrested, I believe that was the 25th of April, Joe texted me and he came to pick me up, and he pretty much he took us.
Much again. Just tell me what he said.
He took us to Dairy Queen, and he bought us ice cream, and he told me that if anything should happen, we should have a code word, which he came up with as Moose. And he also said that not to talk to the police.
Okay. What was your response to that?
I agreed with having a code word, but I don't remember what I responded to when it came to talking to the police.
What would you need the code word for?
He pretty much said if anything should happen.
What does that mean?
Pretty much what happened. If cops come knocking at your door, he would send the code word to me, or I would send it to him.
Did you get a text, any communication from him that night?
Yes, I did.
Okay. When was that in relationship to when law enforcement showed up at your door?
It was right as it happened.
Okay. Tell me about the agreement about not talking to us.
I guess just as general, just Joe doesn't like cops, and that's just pretty much his response whenever something like this happens, just don't talk.
Did he articulate any consequence?
Not that I recall.
So let's talk about then the intent for this meeting being to clarify who threw the rock and correct who threw the rock.
And if I may just interject with the specific wording that we came here for. So we learned on December 14th the following information, and this is why we're here. Mr. Karol-Chik was not honest in his interview about who threw the rock that killed Alexa. In his interview, he stated it was Mr. Kwok who threw the rock. Mr. Kwok states in his interview that it was Mr. Koenig that threw the rock. Mr. Karol-Chik was trying to protect Mr. Koenig for reasons that we will be able to explain. But Mr. Karol-Chik has been very clear with us, meaning your attorneys, from the beginning that it was Mr. Koenig who threw the rock that caused the death of Alexa. Why did we get that information on December 14th? It is now January 4th, and we're not getting that information from you.
So at that point in time, and after I was arrested, I was going through Discovery with them, and we watched Zach's interview. And in Zach's interview, he stated that it was Joe that threw the rock. And that had me second guess my interview. And I started thinking about it, and there was just a hole in my memory, and I couldn't remember who had done it. And I can't remember any conversations about it being done. So I thought that maybe I was wrong. Sorry.
So how do you now remember precisely where Joe's hands were on the steering wheel?
Because I remembered looking at the speedometer, and he had his hands on the wheel.
What's making you emotional right now?
I just feel like I up somehow. I feel like I got it wrong again.
We're just trying to understand. We're here because you were going to correct one of the most important pieces of information, a very important conflict in what you said and what Mr. Kwok said. We're trying to get clarity on that because there are two different versions of who threw the rock that killed Alexa Bartell. And one of you is lying. You read in the proffer agreement that we can subject you to a polygraph examination. How do you feel about that?
That's fine.
You say you remember both of Mr. Koenig's hands on the wheel, but you also just said you have a black hole in your memory. So that's internally inconsistent just in the last moments. So tell us what we can believe here.
I said at the point when I was arrested, there was a hole in my memory. Because when you go through something traumatic, you try to block it out. I had 9 months to think about that day. Nine months. And I can tell you with confidence that I do believe it was Zach.
Tell them why.
So I told you earlier when we were in the parking lot of the medical facility that I threw one of the bigger rocks out of the vehicle. I told you that Joe said, "What are you doing?" And that Zach said, "If you're not going to throw it, I'm going to throw it." Zach got out of the vehicle and grabbed that rock, and he brought it into the back seat with him. I believe that that is the rock that killed Alexa. I believe that because I have seen the photos of it, and I think that it was Zach that threw it. I think it was Zach because at no point in time did I see him hand a rock to Joe. At no point in time did I hand a rock to Joe. What we did was I would set rocks on the console and Joe would grab them. There was not a rock on the console for Joe to grab. Zach has the rock in the back seat that I think killed Alexa, and he doesn't pass it. In fact, he tells Joe to speed up as we see the car that is coming towards us. I didn't see who threw the rock, but I know in my heart that it was Zach because of what happened that night.
You were sitting in the front passenger seat. Your eyes were open. You were not under any intoxicants. How can we believe that you didn't see who threw the final rock?
It was dark in the vehicle. There were no lights on, and it was late at night. I didn't see any movement in the vehicle. I already told you that I was tracking the car, but my eye caught the speedometer. I don't know why, but it did, and I saw that we were going 80. And I didn't see the car again until I turned around and it was already heading off the road.
And there was no conversation after the throwing of that final rock of, "Whoa, Zach, look what you did," or "Whoa, Joe, look what you did," because obviously there would be discussion about who did that, who threw that final rock. There would be an understanding between the three of you of who threw that final rock.
There was none of that discussion that I can recall. After the rock was thrown, Zach did say, "We have to go around and see that." So we did, and that's the only part that I can remember. I remember when we passed it the second time after the rock was thrown, Joe said, "Holy shit." And on the final time, that was when the photo was taken, and I can't even remember if Zach told Joe to slow down or if Joe told Zach to take a photo. I can't remember.
Did you see the photo?
I did.
It sounds like Zach was way more involved than originally positioned. Is that fair?
Yes,
Okay.
and I already told you that he was with us on a previous instance where we did something similar.
When was that?
It was a few days before April 19th.
Okay.
It was probably around that weekend, and it was me, Zach, and Joe, and we were driving around. I want to say it was down near Morrison, and I had a bunch of these glass Topo Chico bottles in the back. I had a case of them that I was drinking. And what we were doing is we were going around and we were just throwing these glass bottles on the road and at cars. So Zach was already involved with this kind of behavior when we did it.
How was it brought up that night in comparison to the 19th?
That night it just kind of happened. There wasn't any conversation because the objects were already in the vehicle. We already had the glass bottles there.
I know you've provided a lot more detail than we had from the 19th, or from the 25th. But let me go back and rehash just a couple details.
All right.
Okay. You're talking about your being in your car. Describe your car to me.
It's a 2016 Chevy Silverado 4-door.
Do you know the license plate?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay. Who owns it?
My parents do.
And that's the car that you were driving that night?
Yes, sir.
And you were listening to the radio?
Joe had his Bluetooth connected to the car.
So the Joe's iPhone that displayed in the Bluetooth log was Joe Canning's phone?
Yes, sir.
Was he using his phone during the time frame you guys were out?
Not that I recall, but he normally does. Like, he'll send Snapchats and stuff while he's driving.
Okay. So let's bring us to, you're at it was the Walmart where you picked up the first set of rocks, right?
Yes, sir.
How did you select the rocks?
They were just in that Walmart. There were medians in the parking lot, and we just grabbed them from there. We didn't really take time to select. We just grabbed handfuls.
Where did they end up in the car?
I had some on the floor in the passenger seat, and Zach had some on the floor in the back seat.
Was there any handing of the rocks forward and backwards?
None forward and backwards. If Joe needed them, like I said, I would set them on the center console for him.
So all the rocks that were in the back seat went where?
They were used by Zach.
So let's talk about, again, everything leading up to that final rock. Tell me about the two vehicles that were on McCaslin.
So as we were coming down McCaslin and going through the second curve, Joe is the one that saw the two vehicles.
Okay.
And at that time, him and Zach both had their windows rolled down.
Where is Zach sitting?
Zach is sitting behind the driver.
Okay.
So it was
Your
at that
window
point.
up or down?
Both of the windows were down. So
Is your window up or down?
my window was up.
Okay.
So Joe said to Zach, "You take the second one."
Did you say anything?
I did not.
Okay. So where are these comments about target left, target right, or whatever? How did that come into play?
It didn't really happen like that. There'd just be a car, and it'd be like, take that one. We wouldn't be like, go left or go right. I can't remember the exact wording he used in his interview, but there wasn't anything said like that. It was just kind of an understanding. Like when we were at the stoplight and Zach told Joe to accelerate through it, me and him both knew that we were going to target the car that was on the shoulder of the road.
And it was on the which shoulder?
So as you were going through the cross street of Alkire and 86, it was on the northeast corner.
How many rocks do you think you threw in total that night?
Between all of us or just me?
Let's start with all of you.
Probably around 30.
And how many of them were you responsible for?
Probably a third of them.
Were you all evenly throwing rocks at various times?
Pretty much, yes.
You made some comments in your first interview. You said, I just had a feeling that somebody was going to get injured. Let's talk about that. When did that happen? When did you make that feeling? What made you feel that?
When I was talking about that gut feeling after we finished up, that's what it was, that someone had gotten hurt.
After you finished up?
After, yes.
Then, but your statement was you had a feeling that somebody was gonna, future tense, get hurt.
So tell us why you anticipated that someone would get hurt before Alexa Bartell was killed.
I don't know.
I mean, doesn't it make sense?
Yeah.
You said in your first interview you were targeting drivers, targeting people.
I don't know if I specifically said we were targeting vehicles. People, I said we were targeting vehicles.
Said you took it a step too far for targeting people who were driving at night.
I thought I was mentioning vehicles, but okay. I have no... I don't know.
Why would it be okay to target a vehicle and not a person?
None of it's okay.
But you made a differentiation, even what you just said, that you were talking about cars instead of people.
I did. It doesn't mean any of it is okay.
Are the consequences different?
I don't know.
Can you use your common sense? So if you're targeting a vehicle without anyone in it versus targeting a human being, tell us what that looks like.
I'm not sure I understand. Are you talking about a human being, alone or in a vehicle?
When you saw the minivan on the side of 100th, and you didn't throw rocks the second time because you saw a person there, why?
Oh, no.
I can offer an explanation, but I don't want to put words in your mouth.
I'd like to hear what you have to offer, but I can't give you a direct statement because I don't know.
Maybe, let me know if I'm off. I think what they're asking is, why is it worse to throw a rock at a person than a car, or vice versa in your mind? Am I close?
Yes.
I guess it's the difference between materialistic and what happened in this case where someone ended up dead.
Did you feel like that at any point during that evening, that somebody else could have ended up being dead?
Sorry, Detective, I missed that question.
Yeah. I was just trying to circle back to building what you just said about, the consequences of the person, right? We've already talked about that you threw the rock on 100th and Sims. And you saw that when you guys looped back around, you saw the car sitting there with a person there. And you decided not to throw the rock a second time. So that tells me that there was something in the decision-making process that happened that made number one different from number two.
That was what I said. That was the first time that Joe and Zach threw the rock, because they both did.
Yep.
And then when we were coming back, the car was on my side.
Yep.
And Zach moved over as Joe was passing it.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, should we hit it again? And I thought I saw someone, so I told him no.
Bingo. That's what I'm talking about right there. Explain why you said no.
It felt wrong going against a person versus just going after a car.
Okay. So you understood that there were consequences of a person being impacted by the rocks.
I understood there were consequences about everything, but a person getting hurt isn't something that you can repair.
Okay. So that was Mr. Grossmar that was in that minivan.
Was it Tipton?
No, Tipton was on 93. There were still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more vehicles that were hit with people in the cars before Alexa. Why did you keep throwing? And I say you, since we did a lot of we at the beginning. We're going to talk about the you generally, then we're going to talk about the you specific, okay? Why were rocks still being thrown from the car?
I can't answer that question. That's something you'd have to ask them.
Okay. Did you throw any of those rocks?
No.
Another thing that really caught my attention in your interview was you talked about you encouraged throwing the rocks. How did you do that? Can you talk about that a little bit?
So I guess that really happened as kind of that group reaction when you'd hit a car or you wouldn't, especially when we were going through neighborhoods, and it was just I don't know, causing damage, and you just
Again, the question is not how it continued. The question was how did you specifically encourage throwing through the night? So what did you do to participate in that culture inside the vehicle?
I mean, I can't give you exact quotes, but I know that we just kept doing it. No one said anything to stop anyone else.
How about you? We're talking about you in this case. You said you encouraged it. Did you ever tell them to throw a rock?
No.
Did you cheer if they did?
Yeah.
Okay. So you see kind of like the two different sides of encouragement, right?
Yeah.
So talk about your demeanor inside the car that leads to the encouragement.
I guess when you get excited after a rock is thrown, people are going to want to do it more.
Okay. And you feel like your demeanor, your participation propelled that?
Probably.
I'd like to shift gears a little bit and talk about some of the other events.
All right.
Okay, so let's kind of take a step back and see if we can get some level of clarity on the big picture of the group.
All right.
Does that sound fair?
Could I use the restroom before?
Absolutely.
All right, thank you.
Hang tight for me for a second real quick.
All right.
In the interest of the rest of the day, and I know being in here is very stressful, let's just talk about a few other incidents and we'll kind of work towards the end of this. Is that fair?
All right.
You had talked about going out, I think, 10 different nights in your interview. There's a couple of very specific ones that I would like to talk about, and then you can fill in the gaps.
Okay.
Let's talk about Saturday night. This would have been April 1st.
All right.
It's the statue head.
Okay.
Where did you get it?
So that statue head, I told you how we bought the truck, me and Joe did.
Mm-hmm.
When we bought that truck, there was a whole bunch of just stuff in the back.
Now, which truck are we talking about now?
So this is the old Dodge. It's like a 1970s Dodge that me and Joe bought as a project car.
Is that the camouflage one?
No. So there's
another one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Joe has the camouflage one. Then
Okay.
me and him have the silver one.
Okay.
So the camouflage one is the one that was photographed at Joe's house.
Yep.
The silver one's the one that was photographed at Come and Go. So there's two different Dodges.
Okay.
So when we bought that Dodge, the dude who owned it had a bunch of stuff in the back. And when we bought it off him, he just let us keep all the stuff. And that statue head was among the things he had in the back of the truck.
Okay.
So,
what was that thing made out of?
it wasn't super heavy. I'd say it was like made out of some like, oh no, it wasn't like, when you think of a statue head, like it wasn't marble or rock. It was hollow on the inside. It was pretty light, so I'm not sure exactly what it was made out of.
Okay. What'd you do with it?
So with that statue head, we started the night off, and me and Joe, we were in my truck, the Chevy, and we were driving around and we were just taking pictures with it at a whole bunch of different places.
Okay.
So we went to there's like a memorial for Rocky Flats, so we went there. We went to Come and Go, and we went to AutoZone and McDonald's. We went to all these different places. When we were at the Come and Go, the manager there said that he would buy it off of us. He said he'd give us $20 a piece and he'd buy it off of us.
Okay.
So we're like, all right, we'll let you know. We still wanted to take some more pictures. So we went, I believe a couple of the photos taken were of one with me holding it next to an Ames truck.
So that red truck?
Yeah.
Whose truck was that?
So that was this dude, I don't know his name, but he was just a complete asshole. So we thought it'd be funny to take a picture of me flipping off the camera in front of this dude's truck.
Okay.
So we took that, and then we had the one in front of the Arvada police station with me holding it above my head. That was the police station in Whisker Creek. So it was after we finished with that one that we exited Whisker Creek. We took 87th to the east out of Whisker Creek, and we turned right onto Alkire, heading south. And it was at this point that Joe is the one that said, wouldn't it be funny if we threw this statue head? And I told him, that'd be pretty stupid. We were just seen all over town with it.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, yeah, but it'd still be pretty funny. And I was like, okay, you do what you want. So we had the statue head in the bed of the truck. I was driving, Joe's in the passenger seat. While we were at this stoplight at the cross-section of Alkire and 86th, We were on the north end of the stoplight waiting to head south. Joe hopped out of the car, and he got into the bed of the truck. So I kept driving southbound, and that's when the other vehicle that was heading north came at us, and Joe threw the statue at it.
What can you tell me about that vehicle?
I believe it was a sedan, but I cannot be 100% certain about what type of vehicle it was.
Color?
I think gray, but like I said, I can't recall much detail about that night in terms of what the vehicle that was struck was. So after we hit the vehicle, I kind of had like a holy shit moment because I didn't think he was actually going to do it. Because like I said, we were seen all over town, and you guys have security footage of us with that statue head. So we kept going now, Kyra, and took that sharp left, and I pulled into the where the baseball fields are there, out behind the Apex Rec Center. Mm-hmm. And Joe hopped back in the car, and I was like, dude, what the hell? And he was kind of funny, though. And that was what he said. So with me still driving, we went back around, and we go back towards Alkire, and we start heading southbound, and we see all the little pieces of the statue head along the road, and we see the car pulled off to the side. So I can't remember anything that was said, but we kept driving around, and eventually we made it back to that area, and it was at that point that Joe suggested that, we pick up the pieces so that they couldn't be traced back to us. So we did. We picked them up, and we dumped them out in that, you remember that same dirt field out by the medical center that I was talking about? Mm-hmm. So there's a fence that separates that dirt field from the reservoir on the other side of the fence. So we took all the pieces that we had, and we pretty much threw them over that fence. And that's pretty much how that whole night transpired.
So you were in your project truck when that happened? And
when we threw the statue at it?
Yeah.
We were in the Chevy when that happened.
Your Chevy?
Yes.
Okay, the black one.
Yes.
Okay. So moving backwards again. Well, let's focus on this. When you guys went out and throwing these objects at cars, how did you choose where to go?
Like I said, normally Joe would drive. I think that statue head was the one-off instance where I was driving.
Okay.
So normally Joe would drive, and he would just go randomly. Normally we wouldn't stay in Arvada. I remember a couple times where we went down to Morrison. We went to Golden, Wheat Ridge, and south of us pretty much, and then southeast. So we tended to stay away from Arvada in terms of when we went out, but Joe was driving, and he didn't really drive like he had a pre-planned route.
Did you have this in the plan for the night when you went out? Like this was going to be your goal for the evening?
No. So normally it would just happen where we were hanging out. Either we'd be working on a truck, or we'd be going to the Grizzly Rose, or we'd just be going getting food, and it would just come up.
Like, how would it come up? Like, walk me through what that sounded like.
So normally there wouldn't really be any conversation about it. It would really happen where there were a couple spots where Joe liked to grab the rocks. I mentioned the Stanley Lake Library, the Apex Center. There's one down south. I can't remember what it's called, but I could show you it if I had a map. And he would just go to these spots, and he'd be like, "Hey, Mitch, grab some rocks."
Would there be still some level of activity around Arvada?
Yeah. I can remember a couple of instances.
How about that last weekend in February?
Which one was that?
It's a Saturday night on February 25th.
I can't tell you for certain if I recall that one.
80th and Sims, Kipling, Alkire, and 80th.
Was that the one where he hit the dude's mirror?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
I can't recall the specific night.
Tell me about the tail lights of your project car.
The taillights?
Yeah.
What about them?
So you have this in full video form. This is a still capture from one of the dash cam that was in one of the people's cars. You know, so you got 2 illuminated lights on one side?
Yeah.
And one on the other?
Yeah.
Did you guys have a problem with one of your taillights at one point?
I can't tell you for certain if we did. I think that might have been with the camouflage Dodge that had that problem at one point, but I can't be 100% certain that it was.
Okay. So this would have been southbound on 80th? I'm sorry, southbound on Alkire, just south of 80th? On that last weekend in February?
All right.
Do you remember that?
No,
And if you don't, I need to know, do you remember that?
I do not remember that instance.
Can I just ask, how then did you know, referencing yourself, is that the one where the mirror was knocked off?
I made a guess based on discovery that came out that would be a specific instance that you would ask about, but I don't remember the entirety of events.
So, having reviewed all of Discovery, what incident that you've read about in all of Discovery are you responsible for?
I don't know if this incident was in the Discovery, but there was this one with a there's like this piece of metal that Joe took off a like motorcycle or something that he had that ended up getting thrown at a car while we were heading on 72nd, I believe.
Okay. So, Investigator Minko, I mean, if you know of, you know the name Kurt Sela, for example, because you've read all of Discovery. So, can you tell us, are you responsible for throwing the rock at his and his wife's vehicle?
I don't recall the name.
So, but you've gone through all of Discovery to know all of...
I haven't gone through the entirety of Discovery.
Maybe the type of vehicle would be helpful, make or model would be helpful, rather than specific names.
Was it one of the minivans?
The only minivan that I recall is the one that was on 100th.
Okay.
We did this late at night. I don't recall the vehicles that got impacted.
Do you know that area fairly well?
Arvada?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is off of just Google Maps. Do you recognize this area? So there's 72, West 72nd itself, Kipling, Sims, 80th.
Yeah.
Do you remember being involved in an event, 2 cars back to back in this area? Same night?
I don't recall details, but I do remember the event you're talking about.
Okay. What do you remember about that?
So I think it was another night. We were in my truck again, and Joe was driving, and I believe it was while we were heading eastbound. There were cars coming west,
Okay.
and Joe threw one, and I threw one from here over the vehicle from the passenger side.
Do you remember where and here you were?
I think it was somewhere between Sims and Kipling.
Okay. Was there just one car that night, or were there multiple cars?
I can't recall. I think it was just one.
And what about south on Alkire, just south of 80th Avenue, right after that incident on Sims and Kipling? Because there were 2 rocks thrown that night, so tell us about that.
Can I see the area you're referencing? Because I
Yeah,
don't.
it's all contained in that map.
So south of 80th on Alkire?
There's 80th, Here's Alkire.
Yeah, that happened right there while we were heading down the hill. There's another car coming up the hill, and a rock got thrown at it, and I thought it smashed the windshield because we saw pieces of glass. Do you want me to circle the area?
Yep, if you could just put like a circle or an X or mark it to some degree.
I think that happened somewhere around here.
Okay.
Do you want me to mark the other?
Yes, please.
I think that happened somewhere in there.
Okay.
You said the rock got thrown. Who threw it?
I think that was the one that I threw over the vehicle.
One or both?
That one was me and that one was Joe.
Okay. What else do you remember about those two?
Not a whole lot. I just remember this one stuck out to me for some reason
Why?
because I remember the area.
And which car were you in that night?
We were in my Chevy.
Okay. Did you ever have an issue with the taillights in your Chevy?
No.
So is there anything else you can tell us about either one of these two? The weather, what you guys were talking about, mood of the night, how the night started, how the night ended.
All I remember is it was later at night. I don't really recall any other details.
Okay. Can you start your initials at the bottom of that one, please? Yeah. Did you ever throw anything else other than what we've talked about?
Told you about the statue head.
Mhm.
Told you about the fender.
Can
And
you
the
tell us more
rocks.
about the fender?
So, actually, can I see the map again to kind of show you? So the fender was off of this motorcycle that Joe was working on, and the bike was a complete piece of shit, and so he was pretty much disassembling it. And while we were on 72nd,
Mhm.
we were heading west, and there was a car heading east, and it was right in that area right there
Okay.
that Joe kind of, I guess, frisbee tossed this fender at the car that was oncoming. And we saw the car pull up over here, and we kept going. We took a right, and I believe at that point we did go home.
Okay. So, because I'm going to have to type this up later, could you do me a favor? Like, write Joe Fender there.
Hope you can read my handwriting.
Yep.
Sorry.
And you said this was you?
Yeah.
Okay.
You want me to say Nick Rock?
Please. And then, yep.
When was that fender incident?
I'm sorry, I can't recall an exact date. All I remember is the fender because it stuck out. It's kind of one of those, I guess, odd objects.
How about anything that didn't cause damage? You talked about some bottles before, right?
So that was in the Morrison area.
Okay.
I don't recall like exact neighborhoods, but I believe it was like kind of on that road that leads into Red Rocks and a bit south of there.
Okay.
And it was just bottles. Like we throw them like on the road, and I think a couple even got thrown at cars.
Okay. And when was that?
Like April. There was a big concert going on at Red Rocks, so I'm tempted to say it was April 20th.
Do you know who the concert was?
I think it might have been Subtronics, but I'm not 100% sure.
So the day after Alexa Bartell was killed, you were throwing bottles in Morrison?
It might have been the week before. It might have been anywhere between the 12th and the 19th.
You want to see that? Or,
Calendar. Yeah.
Ignore my rating.
So the 19th was Wednesday.
It's the 19th is Wednesday.
I'd be tempted to say it was the 15th or the 16th, because I think it was part of that weekend.
So the weekend before Bartell.
Yeah, so either that 15th or 16th, I'd be tempted to say. There was like an event going on at Red Rocks.
Did you ever throw any objects after the April 19th and the 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th?
No. So pretty much after the Bartell incident, I guess kind of separated myself from them, and I think I had 2 meetings with Joe, and I didn't see Zach in person after the incident.
What did you do after this? After the 19th?
I started drinking a lot.
Okay.
I just tried to keep busy to not think about it.
What did you do to keep busy?
I'd go to work, I'd try to do school.
Did you talk to anybody?
No,
Did anybody ask you what was wrong?
no.
Do you know what the other 2 did? Other than what you've seen and discovered in court?
Aside from the meeting that was talked about in the Snapchat group chat, I have no idea.
That's kind of brought us to roundabout 2, an interesting segue. So we've been together here for a couple hours. We've been watching your mannerisms, how you talk, how you carry yourself, the details that you have, the details that you don't have. And there is one very core part of this conversation that has made you more upset than any other. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that some more and talk about the why. What is it with the conversation between you and Joe that has you so upset? It's easier if you just say it.
It just made it all so real. When you read something like that on the news, you can't imagine that that was something that you were involved in. But then when it gets put into words, it just makes it all so real.
What were the words that it was put into?
Just talking about what had happened and how we were involved.
Tell me everything you can remember about that conversation.
So there's the one when I went to AutoZone to see Joe, and we had talked about how that was when we talked about how we would be good because Zach was the one who had thrown the rock that hit Alexa Bartell. And then there was the night that we got arrested on the 25th. And Joe was talking about how he had done research on prior cases where rocks had been thrown at moving vehicles. And he was saying it was a 50-50 chance that we were going to get caught and that we shouldn't talk to the cops. And no matter what, we would be fine because we didn't throw the rock that killed Alexa.
So then that brings us into why we're sitting here today. It sounds like you were confident after the night of, even though you had a black hole in your memory. After you had the conversation with Joe, you guys had decided that it was Zach. And then yet, we're in a position when we're having this meeting when we are under the understanding that that was not accurate information. Do you understand why this isn't clear?
Yes.
How can you speak to that?
So on the night that we were arrested, I did want to shift all the blame towards Zach.
Why?
To protect myself and to protect Joe at the time.
Why would you protect Joe?
Because at the time he was my closest friend.
Did he ask you to protect him?
No.
Okay. So you're shifting all of the blame towards Zach.
Yeah.
Then what happened?
Well, after the fact, I realized I was stupid. Because no matter what, they don't care what happens to me. So I shouldn't give a shit what happens to them.
Who is the they in that sentence?
After we all got arrested, Joe and Zach don't care what's going to happen to me. And I shouldn't care what's going to happen to them. I should stop trying to protect them.
Okay.
Stop trying to protect Joe.
Have you had any communication with them indirectly through family?
No.
Directly? Anything?
No.
No. There's no jails. There's no notes been passed to the jail that I don't know about?
No.
Okay.
The only communication I've had is a porter came up to me and he said, "Hey, Zach was talking about you."
Okay.
And I told him I don't care.
Was there any more to that conversation?
No.
Okay. How did that trustee know you?
So he watched the news and he was in a unit with Zach, and then he became the porter for my pod, for my unit.
Did Zach ever, let me rephrase it because you wouldn't know that part of it. Did he ever try and give you anything from Zach?
No.
All right. So the question really comes down to is, why do we believe you now? Why should we believe you now? What can you provide that we don't already know, that you're just not regurgitating something that's in discovery of substantive value?
You have no reason to believe me. But I also have no reason to protect anyone anymore. I promise you, what I am telling you is the truth. I have no reason to care about Joe or care about Zach. I have no reason to protect anyone. I just want to do what's best for me. So what I have told you is the truth.
Why did you tell something different, that it was Joe that threw the final rock in December?
At that point, I did believe it was Joe. I had watched Zach's interview, and like I said, it made me second guess myself. But then, when I was visited yesterday, and I started going over it again, I couldn't think of how logically it could have been Joe.
Well, he has hands. He can throw the rock out of the window while he's driving, right?
Yes, but as I said before, if it is the rock that I was thinking of, the one that I threw out of the car, then how did Joe come into possession of that rock when it was Zach who brought the rock into the back seat with him?
So instead of focusing on specific rocks, because I think that that's asking a lot of you, because it was dark in the car, there were a lot of different rocks. We wouldn't anticipate you can distinguish, this is the one that hit victim 1, this is the one that hit victim 2. What's more reasonable for you to remember might be what you personally observed while you were in the vehicle on the most eventful night and moment of your entire life.
Why don't you go through that part again? All the conversation, music, lighting, everything that you remember.
Let's start with Joe speeds up to 80.
So
You see the oncoming car lights of Alexa Bartell's car.
we saw the lights. There were no lights on in the car. It was dark in the car, and we were heading towards her car, and we see the lights come over the hill. And it was at that point that Zach had told Joe to speed up. And then I heard a window roll down because the wind, and I just remember tracking the car.
What does that mean, tracking?
Just watching the car as it's coming towards us and just kind of following how it's moving.
What's the conversation at that point?
I wish I could remember.
Was it happy or sad? What's the mood?
Can't remember. I know that we talked about heading home. That's why we were heading on Indiana. We were going home.
So you see her lights coming towards you. You see that Joe's driving 80. You hear wind. What else do you see and hear? Tell us exactly.
Joe was playing some song because he was still connected to the Bluetooth. I don't think his window was down, but I couldn't tell because it was so dark out. And just looking behind and seeing the car roll off the road.
So you skipped a period of time here. Tell us about the period of time that you saw with your own eyes after you see Alexa Bartell's car coming towards you, and then you see it going off the road. You skipped that. And you're playing it in your mind's eye right now. We're watching you play it in your mind's eye. Now's your chance to tell the truth.
I can't remember what happened.
Is it believable that a lack of memory would make you cry this hard? We're watching you play a memory. Tell us what you're seeing in your mind's eye. That's all we're asking of you. And this is an opportunity for you to tell the truth. We're asking for that. That's the reason we're here.
All right, step back for a minute. When Zach says Joe, speed up, what did Joe say?
He just sped up. I don't know if he said anything in return.
Did he ask him why?
No.
Did you ask why?
No.
Did you say anything to Zach?
No.
Did Zach say it from directly behind you, or was he behind Joe? Could you tell where the sound was coming from? Or can you see Zach?
He was in between us and he was moving to the left.
Okay. So Joe sped up. How do you know Joe sped up?
You could hear when the car is speeding up, you can hear the engine.
Okay. Did you ask Joe, what are you doing? Why are you speeding up?
No.
Does Joe seem excited? Cheering, happy to do it? Does his demeanor change?
No.
Okay, nothing noticeable? What about Zach? Can you hear any rustling around in the back seat where rocks would be clinging together, or did you remember hearing anything from the back seat?
No.
Do you know where Zach had his rocks in the back seat?
No.
Where were the rocks in the front?
They were on the floor at my feet.
You said earlier you would put them on the console for Joe. Did you put them on the console?
There were no rocks on the console for Joe.
So instead of these kind of pointed questions, I want you to tell in your own words where we were, what was going on in your mind's eye. You also said something that struck me, that you're trying to tell the truth versus I am telling the truth. Please tell us the truth without these pointed questions, with what happened after you see the headlights coming towards you. We're going back to this again, to then seeing Alexa Bartell's car going off the road, because you are struggling so hard with that, and to share that with us. And that is the entire reason we've been here for hours. Are you going to tell us the truth about what you see in your own mind's eye?
Yes.
Please do that. This is your opportunity to tell us the truth about that moment.
The window was halfway down. Zach's was. Windows in the back seat don't close all the way on my truck. I remember seeing his window. Just that much of it. Zach's window was down. And I looked past him and I saw the car going off the road. The rock would have already been thrown if, at the point that I saw the speedometer, at the point that I saw Joe and I didn't see him throw it. If they threw the rock as it passed us, it would have gone through one of the side windows. So when the car was right there and I saw a speedometer, the rock, it had at that point been thrown.
What's keeping you from telling us what happened in that moment? There's something that's stopping the story as you tell it. That's interrupting your mental process as you're running through it. What is that thing? Is it because you still have allegiance to Joe?
I can't think about that moment without thinking about what had happened. I don't want to think about what had happened.
None of us do, but yet we're here. You're not the only one that relives that night every day. But you are the one that was in the car that has the memory.
it looks like there's a real internal struggle where you could tell us something. But you're not. Why aren't you telling us something?
There's something important, I just can't think of it. There's something there, but I just can't think of it.
You said in your first interview that you were glad to get something off your chest, to get it off your chest. Is there anything else you can get out and not have to carry any burdens and carrying any dishonesty within you, and so that everyone can move forward with only the truth out there? Because you said it was a lot for you to carry in that first interview. And you're clearly carrying a lot right now when we're asking these questions about the most crucial and critical moment of so many lives. Are you able to stop weighing whatever it is you're weighing in your head and just decide to be completely truthful, to be a completely truthful person, to come completely clean with that memory? So can I just go back a little bit? You and Joe essentially made a pact to not talk about this, right? You had an agreement?
Sure.
Okay. And you signed paperwork today to be completely honest, right?
I did.
And is it true, would it be fair to say that those two agreements conflict with each other?
Sure.
Okay. Is that the struggle we're watching you deal with? Yes. Tell us about that. Tell us about why you're struggling with that. We understand. Do you still care about Joe?
No.
Okay.
I just want to do what's best for me.
Okay. You said, though, that is the struggle. Is that the struggle right now that you're dealing with? The internal struggle that we're seeing?
I'm trying to remember what exactly happened in as vivid detail as possible. But there's like this point in time where I just can't.
What is that point in time?
After I looked at the speedometer and before I saw her car rolling off the road. There's just that 1 second period where I just don't remember what happened.
Did you say that you saw the speedometer after the rock was thrown?
After I saw the speedometer and before I saw the car roll off the road, but I'm not sure when the rock was thrown.
And you'd used the passive voice, the rock was thrown, versus saying, when Zach threw the rock. That's interesting. That's an interesting choice of words.
feel like I've got it all wrong, but I was there. I can't forget. I don't remember what happened, but I can't.
I'll make steps to contact our polygrapher, set up a date for the polygraph. This is your opportunity. We're getting ready to stand up and walk out of the room.
I wish I could remember, but I can't. I'm sorry.
Is there anything else you need to say about that night? Regardless of the conversations that's happened between them, between you and me, what else do you need to correct, amend, clarify? This is your opportunity.
I will regret that night for the rest of my life. I'll regret all previous nights that we did that for the rest of my life. God damn it, I can't change that now.
All right. We're going to step out. We're going to turn the recorder off, give you guys a few minutes, and compose yourself.
Thank you.
Karol-Chik's proffer interview added more detail to the investigation, but it also continued the pattern detectives had already seen. Just like Kwok, Karol-Chik pointed the finger at someone else, stating that Kwok was the one who threw the rock that killed Alexa Bartell. However, after months of forensic analysis, data comparisons, surveillance reviews, timelines, and testimony, investigators and prosecutors ultimately concluded that Joseph Koning was the individual who threw the fatal rock from the passenger side of the Silverado. Karol-Chik's proffer, along with the other interviews and supporting evidence, helped prosecutors piece together the final sequence of events. In court, the three suspects faced different outcomes. Joseph Edwin Koning was tried before a jury and found guilty of first-degree murder along with multiple related charges. He was sentenced to life in prison. Nicholas Karol-Chik accepted a plea agreement and received a sentence of 45 years in prison. Zachary Kwok also entered a plea with convictions for assault-related charges and a sentence of up to 32 years. Alexa Bartell was more than the victim at the center of this case. She was a daughter, a friend, and someone whose life was just beginning. The people who knew her remember her laugh, her kindness, and the way she showed up for the people she cared about. Those closest to her continue to share stories, photos, and memories that reflect the person she was long before this tragedy. For them, Alexa isn't defined by what happened on that night, but by the impact she had on their lives and the love they still hold for her.